I am currently all dressed up in a suit and tie because I am about to try that new Krabby Patty meal at Wendy's. Let's do this. Hope they're open. I drove out this way. Look at that. Beautiful. Alright. Go through that door. Alright. Okay. I would like one Krabby Patty meal, please. Alright guys, I've got it. The Krabby Patty meal. Krabby Patty and fries in here, and this pineapple slushy type thing. Okay. You know, I wasn't originally going to even try this because of multiple reasons, but one of the main reasons is also the reason why, even if this is good, I won't be having it or anything from Wendy's probably ever again, because I just do not eat fast food because A, it's very unhealthy, and B, it's also very expensive. But, you know, I saw a bunch of people trying this online, and so I kind of couldn't help myself. I thought, also, mainly the idea came to me to go to Wendy's, order Krabby Patty, while wearing a full-on suit and tie, and that was just too funny of an idea for me not to make a video of. So here I am, and now I'm about to try this. Alright, so as you see, when you order these, like the meal or whatever, there's no, like, you know, SpongeBob wrapping or whatever, like in that one picture that was going around on the internet, like advertising it. But that's okay. Whatever. It'll still probably taste the same. I think I will just try the Krabby Patty first. Before the fries, before the slushy. I'm gonna try the Krabby Patty. Okay. This is years, like 20 plus years, 25 years of a bunch of hype. Will it live up to it? There it is. There it is, the Krabby Patty. Alright. Let's see. Let's see how this tastes. It's alright. You know, for fast food, it's pretty decent. I like the sauce or whatever that they put on it. It does taste pretty good. It's better than the Big Mac, I would say. Let me try these fries. Now, these fries, they kind of look like the fries in SpongeBob. It's the fact that I have watched so many episodes of SpongeBob so many times, so I know what the fries in SpongeBob look like, kind of says something about me. But these do kind of look like the fries. Decent fries. Not the best. I mean, that's my impression of this so far, is that none of this is really the best, but not bad. I mean, it's bad for you, but taste-wise, not like, you know, terrible or anything. Happy they didn't forget my pickles. You'll have to go full bubble baths on them. Speaking of, the people that were working there inside the Wendy's, very nice. At least the people that took my order. So that's a positive thing that I have to say about this experience. So, I'm not really typically a fan of pineapple stuff, so if I do not like this, I wouldn't be surprised, and you guys shouldn't be surprised either, but I'm going to try this pineapple slushy type thing that is part of the Krabby Patty meal. This spot is like making it so I can barely even get any of it. Yeah. I gotta just take the straw off if I want to actually get some of it. Get any of it, really. Okay. I don't want to, like... Let me do it over this. Alright. Surprisingly, this actually tastes good. Like, to me. Because I don't like pineapple stuff usually. But this pineapple slushie is actually very good. Honestly, this might be the best part of the meal, the pineapple slushie. Just wish the straw worked better. Or maybe it was because of, like, the cap or whatever. Let me try now. Straw still isn't really working, but I can use it as like a spoon, kind of. Yeah! Alright. Let me try another bite of the Krabby Patty. Oh. That did not happen. So, I already said why I originally wasn't gonna try this, being how I just don't usually eat fast food. I mean, occasionally I'll have, like, maybe some stuff from, like, maybe Taco Bell or something like that, which is fast food, but I don't really have fast food, like, on a weekly or even monthly basis. Most people shouldn't. It's not really good for you. And so, do I have any napkins? I'm gonna have to go inside to grab napkins later. After I'm done with this, I think. Ah, dang. Huh. Well, I'll just have to try not to make a big mess of stuff, and if I have to, I can use this wrapping that they put on the burger as like a napkin. Be creative. But the other reason why... And by the way, I'm in my car right now recording this because I wanted to do a honest reaction and honest review of this Krabby Patty meal. And I would have felt a little weird, a little odd, like criticizing it inside the building. I don't know, that's just me. I didn't feel odd going into Wendy's ordering a Krabby Patty by wearing a full-on suit and tie and even dress shoes. That didn't make me feel odd. But the thought of criticizing the food inside the restaurant or whatever, that would make me odd. But, the sauce or whatever is really good. It is really good. And, I mean, they got all the ingredients correct. They got, like, you know... They got the patty, which is not made of crabs, by the way. That's been debunked multiple times. They got cheese, lettuce, tomato, onion, pickles. Some kind of secret sauce, apparently. Only thing is, there's no sesame seeds on the bun. Let me have some more of these fries. But like I was saying, to finish the sentence that I never finished. The other reason why I wasn't even going to try this, despite being honestly a huge SpongeBob fan, is because years ago, when he was still alive, Steven Hillenburg, the creator of SpongeBob, said that he didn't want, like, to ever bring Krabby Patties to real life because they didn't want to, like, market fast food to, like, kids because of how unhealthy fast food is. And then, you know, as many people know, he passed away in, like, 2018 or something like that. And now they have this new Krabby Patty deal thing or whatever at Wendy's. But, and so that originally I put up a post on YouTube and my Twitter, X, or whatever, about it, and about how he didn't want to ever do this, and so it does kind of go against his wishes. And if I was Nickelodeon, if I was in charge of Nickelodeon, I honestly wouldn't have done any like deal, partnership, or whatever like this, most likely, just because of it, kind of not being what he wanted. But at the same time, you gotta look at it kind of like, I think, a glass half full type perspective. Like, years ago, Stephen Hill, this wasn't even like that recent of a quote. This was like years ago, like even years before he passed. He did say he wouldn't want to, like, do this type of thing because of it, marketing fast food to kids. But, and I agree with him. But the thing is, too, respectfully, it is kind of admirable how Nickelodeon, like, they owned SpongeBob. They could do whatever the heck they wanted with SpongeBob for 25 years. They could have done this 25 years ago, but while he was still here on the planet, they respected Steven Hillenburg's wishes for like 20 years, multiple decades. And for a massive company like Nickelodeon, you gotta understand, all companies want is to make money. For them to actually have the dignity to at least respect his wishes for like the entire time that he was like around, even though he kind of also stopped working on SpongeBob, kind of, for like multiple seasons. Like, he was still technically a executive producer, but his involvement on the show really like became much less than it originally was. For many years, for them to like still like respect his wishes like for like 20 years, I mean, it's pretty admirable, I think. And yeah, fast food is very bad for people, and it's not the best thing to market towards kids. But this Krabby Patty meal, is also only like lasting for 1 month, so it's not like Nickelodeon decided, hey, let's forever, or like for a year or whatever, have like Krabby Patties at Wendy's, so that kids can come to Wendy's every single day for like an entire year to just have like, burgers and whatnot. It's only a 1 month thing. And so while it's not like them doing this is like a net positive or whatever, inherently, clearly, like of course the only reason why Nickelodeon did this partnership is to make more money, and to probably also market SpongeBob, even though who doesn't know what SpongeBob is, but to also just like, make money. But the same can be said with like toys and video games and whatnot. Sushi is really good. And just because something is made to make money, it doesn't mean it can't also provide at least a bit of a good experience. This definitely isn't a healthy experience, but so if you think about, at the same time, yes, it's unhealthy, but also, all of the kids who, I know when I was a kid, I would have loved to have, like, the ability and chance to try a real-life Krabby Patty, like an official Krabby Patty. I used to go to, like, Dunkin' Donuts or whatever with, like, my, like, my family members, and I would get a breakfast sandwich from Dunkin', and I would call it a Krabby Patty, because, like, to me, it was, like, the closest thing in my head that would be, like, to a real-life Krabby Patty. And so, even though I know that this is very, like, unhealthy, and I do not even really eat fast food very often, there was a kid in me, the kid, like, what, 10 years ago or whatever, that would have loved to try a real life Krabby Patty, that actually is enjoying this, kind of. And I came up with this idea to, like, order the Krabby Patty at Wendy's with, like, a full-on suit and tie, like, about a week ago or whatever. And so for the past week, I've been, like, really excited to, like, you know, do this and try this, both for the video and also just, like, it's a real life Krabby Patty, bro. You know? But so, my impression, having finished the Krabby Patty and ate, like, some of the fries, probably not really gonna finish them, but my first impression is, if you are a massive SpongeBob fan and you don't mind eating something that's very unhealthy for, like, a meal, once, or whatever, I would say go for it. I would say buy it, or whatever, if you don't mind eating, like you said, fast food is very unhealthy. So if you don't mind getting it, okay. And also if you don't mind paying, like, it was like $10 or $11 or something like that. So, it's a small slushie. You know, it's not like a big cup or whatever. A thing of fries, which, to be fair, it is a small container of fries, but I'm full. I don't even know if I'm going to finish the fries. And, yeah, you got one kind of, like, small-ish burger. It's not really that small. I mean, it's not huge or whatever. It's just, like, probably, like, about the size of, like, maybe Big Mac, kind of. But a Big Mac is smaller than, like, a burger from Five Guys, and so... And also, that's also the thing. So, if you really want to have, like, a real-life Krabby Patty and be able to say that you had a real-life Krabby Patty... His sushi is so good, by the way. But if you really want to do that, I say go for it. Do it. You only have until, like, next month, I think. So do it. But that's also the thing. This was a decent experience. None of this was, like, bad. None of it tasted awful or anything like that. But if I was in charge of, like, Nickelodeon or whatever, and we were making, like, this kind of, like, partnership, we decided we're gonna do, like, a partnership with a, like, fast food place or whatever to make real life Krabby Patties. I don't, like, respectfully, since I am in the parking lot right now for Wendy's, I wouldn't have done it with Wendy's. What I would have done is have that partnership be between Nickelodeon and Five Guys, because Five Guys, I think, is, like, the best, like, fast food place, like, you could ever get any food from. Like, their burgers are really good and, like, big too. Like, you get, like, 2 patties. If you get a burger from Five Guys, you have to specify if you only want 1 patty. Otherwise, they'll automatically give you 2 patties. And it's actually, like, it's probably not very healthy, like Wendy's, but it's very, very good. Like the highest quality fast food I think you could ever have. It's the fries too. The fries are awesome. The burgers are awesome. If I was in charge of doing this partnership, that's what I would have done. I would have had it be like a collaboration with them. But for Wendy's, it's pretty good. Like, you know, like I said, best thing about this meal is the slushie, which I'm very surprised by, because I don't even like pineapple stuff usually. I don't even like pineapples, but I like this. I like the slushie. I am not going to finish the fries. I finished the Krabby Patty, but not the fries. But I think I'm definitely going to finish this. Alright, so I think I've said pretty much all I wanted to say. Let me just get out real quick and dust off my pants. There's like crumbs on them or whatever. If you guys tried the Krabby Patty meal at Wendy's, let me know what you guys think of it down below in the comments. Hey guys, today we're going to be doing an unboxing video, if you couldn't already tell. So back in 2020, when the SpongeBob game Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, the HD remake of the fan favorite game from like the PS2 era, came out, they also came out with multiple special edition versions of the game, which came with multiple extra stuff and whatnot. And one version was the fun version, like a reference to the episode Fun. And that is the version that I have right here in this box that we are going to be unboxing. Like I said, it was back in 2020 when it came out, and originally when I heard about it, I wanted to get the Fun edition, because that's like got the most amount of extra stuff, I think, or whatever. Pretty sure, at least. But I never got it. Also, because I didn't ask anyone for it, because I knew how expensive it can be. Like, this thing was running for like between $100 and like $400 online. I got the version of it that like comes with the PC version of the game, which is the cheapest version, so it was like $130 or something like that. And when I found out that they were still selling new containers of this edition on Amazon, I was surprised, because it's been like 5 years since it came out. But yeah, enough rambling, let's do this. How am I gonna... Okay, I got pair of scissors. I guess kinda, I wanna make sure that you guys can see it. So, do that. If this is the top, it should actually probably be like that, I think. So if you guys can see it, if you see right here, it says THQ Nordic SpongeBob Fun Edition. Let me get rid of this giant box. Let's see what is inside. Oh look, another box. A box inside a box inside a box. I wonder if there's going to be more boxes inside. But look at that. Let me get that out of the way. Look at that. Isn't it amazing and fantastic? It's a entire 360, I guess. Show every side of it. Get that side, this side, this side. Just a bunch of pictures of like what it comes with. Keychains, little statues or whatever. Ah, there's tape on this side too. Just tear it off. In my defense, guys, I have never done an unboxing video before. This is the first time. I don't usually buy stuff online, so this is probably going to be like the only time, but if you guys like it, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Ah, you open it from the bottom. That is unusual, but SpongeBob is a very unusual show. Okay, so we got the little statues. Let me open it up. Awesome. You got Patrick Style holding one of those watermelons, throw fruits, as they are called in the game. That's like one of the main attacks in the game. He like throws watermelons at the enemies. He is standing on a crushed watermelon. That's kind of funny. And you got the socks in the background. In the game, if you do not know, you go around collecting Patrick's socks as a collectible. Pretty cool. And let's open this one up. And then you got this, which is a statue of two characters, SpongeBob and Gary. SpongeBob is holding a golden spatula. Fun fact, both characters are voiced by the same guy. I know too much about SpongeBob, but what is this? Why is there one? There's like an eye just hanging out. I think that's an eye. Oh, wait. Oh, I just realized what that is. Oh, that's supposed to be The L standing on top of the head of a robot. Oh, that's what that is. And these are the wires and whatnot that connected the eye inside. Oh, now I get it. Now I get it. Everyone's favorite character from Texas, Sandy Cheeks. Also, in my opinion and many other people's opinion, the best character to play as in the game, because she's got this ability where she can lasso in the sky. It's basically like flying almost. It's a very, very good, very cool, very fun ability to be in a game. You got this, whatever this is. What is this? A book? I'm confused. Is it an instruction manual on how to play the game? Remember when video games used to come with those? Back in like the PS2 era? Back in those days, they had like mini booklets and whatnot inside the disc cases. Oh wait, oh these are all stickers. Ah, I don't really do much with stickers, but if you guys want to see it, there's that. And then these stickers. Okay, this one is kind of cheap, I think. Okay, a lot of these are kind of cheap. Just basically stock images of SpongeBob. You know, if you Google any of these characters, and I know this because I have before for multiple YouTube videos, you will find all of these stock images, I'm pretty sure. But that's cool, I got that in sticker form, I guess. Same thing with this, stock images. I don't think I've seen this one before, but it looks like it might be in reference to Neptune's Spatula, the season 1 episode. I don't know if that's the name of it. I forgot the name of that episode, but you know, that episode of this Neptune's Spatula. Oh, you got this, stock images of Patrick and SpongeBob holding glove balloons. You know, apparently, as I talked about in my SpongeBob Iceberg video, in the game Battle for Bikini Bottom, there was going to be possibly a glove world level, but it got scrapped for whatever reason. And you get more stock images that a lot of you have probably already seen. Alright, so I got the PC version of the game, which you can play on computers. I do have a computer. I don't know if it actually has a way to put a disc in it though, but I already have the game on mobile anyways, and I did used to play it on the PS4 back when I had a PS4, so whatever if I can't play this version. I might be able to, might not be able to, I don't know, I have the game already, so whatever. Yeah, this, oh, Tiki keychains. Open this up. How do you, wait. Ah, like that, okay. These look pretty nice. There's that Tiki. I don't know if my camera is even really going to focus on them. Hopefully. But yeah, this one, and finally, these two. I actually really like the detail and designs on these. I mean, they're not super ultra realistic looking, like it doesn't really look like actual wood, but the details are correct to how it looks in the game for all of these. Shouldn't move anything. Well, you know what? I'm gonna keep this guy in flame. There's whatever this is. I don't know what this is. These aren't stickers. These are just. Oh, this is kind of cool actually. I think it's pictures that I think they use to promote the game, or maybe it's just like paintings. Oh, I don't know if they're paintings or if they yeah, I believe they're maybe not paintings, but like it's like artwork that they made when making Rehydrated. And man, the visuals in Rehydrated, in my opinion, as I mentioned in my review of the game, just looks so good. Okay, this is gonna sound very hyperfixation-y or whatever, but this final thing in the box that I'm about to show is basically the only reason why I've been wanting the special edition since 2020, just because I thought it was kind of cool. Okay, get ready for this. 3, 2, 1. Socks. SpongeBob socks. So, no, not SpongeBob socks. I believe they are supposed to be Patrick socks. Yeah. Patrick socks that you select in the game. They're the socks in the game. And look at that. I just I don't know if it even fits me or if it's probably too small. Yo, it actually fits me. I wasn't sure if it was gonna be too small or like, I mean it's a little tight, but it actually does fit. It actually fits but I'm gonna show you guys in a second. And put it on both my feet. You guys do not get Cartoon Pro's feet pics. At least not in this video. Alright, I am now wearing Patrick's socks from the game. Guys, see it? See it good enough? Got enough of it? Okay. That is something most YouTubers probably do not advise you do. Put your feet in the air when making a video, but whatever. I have socks on them. Very cool looking socks. That was the very reason why I even wanted this special edition, but what am I doing? What is my life? Well, I don't know. But if you guys enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed filming it and making it, feel free to like, share, comment, be like, Cartoon Post, you are such a loser. Why did you pay over $100 just for a pair of socks and some like keychains and statues and stickers? I don't know. It was a good idea, I thought, at least. It seemed like a good purchase at the time. And I am not regretting making that purchase. Hey guys, I'm back. SpongeBob just turned 21 years old. The show, not the character. We don't exactly know how old he is. So today, we will be counting down the top 7 continuity errors in SpongeBob SquarePants. Because nothing screams appreciation for a long-running series more than pointing out continuity errors, right? Yeah? Never mind. Roll the intro. Number 7. Christmas. In the SpongeBob Season 1 episode Jellyfishing, Patrick shouts the phrase Merry Christmas, even though in the Season 2 episode Christmas Who, we know no one in Bikini Bottom has ever heard of Christmas before. I guess Patrick's officially a time traveler because this makes no sense. Number 6. SpongeBob's hands. In the episode I Was a Teenage Gary, SpongeBob mentions how he is left-handed. However, in the episode You Don't Know Sponge, SpongeBob said to Patrick, I'm ambidextrous. And I mean, if that's true, him saying he's left-handed isn't technically a lie, it just means he is both left and right-handed. So, number 5. Patrick's mummy. In the Season 12 episode Insecurity Guards, Patrick's mummy makes a cameo, and she's a mummy in a museum. Vincent Vallo said on Twitter that this was just a gag and is not canon. We already saw Patrick's mother in past episodes, so basically she's still alive. You know, I'm glad she's doing well. Number 4. SpongeBob's sexuality. Okay, so, on a page in the book SpongeBob SquarePants Survival Guide, SpongeBob mentions how he has a crush on Sandy, even though Steven Hillenburg said SpongeBob is asexual and cannot fall in love. Number 3. Patrick's sister. In Something Smells, Patrick starts freaking out thinking he is now ugly, and says, what if my sister finds out, even though I don't have a sister? Even though in the episode Big Sister Sam or his sister visits, well, yeah. Number 2. Painty the Pirate. Painty the Pirate is the painting at the start of every episode of SpongeBob, and is also the character who sings the entire theme song. In the second movie, Sponge Out of Water, Painty's backstory as an evil pirate who ironically hates singing is shown. And for those who don't know, I'm talking about Boglebeard. However, in the Season 2 episode, Your Shoes Untied, Painty the Pirate said to SpongeBob, oh, I'd just be a painting of a head. So, maybe he's a painting of Boglebeard's head? I don't know. Number 1. Camp Coral / Sponge on the Run. Yeah, I know. I previously made a video on how much the new SpongeBob movie and spin-off Camp Coral breaks the continuity, but in that video I got, very heated. And after this list, I now realize how silly it would be to get mad at SpongeBob's continuity because... what continuity? Okay guys, that was the top 7 continuity errors in SpongeBob SquarePants. That was a fun list. So if you guys like this video, maybe I'll make another one in the future.
I couldn't have done it without my best bubble-blowing buddy.
Guess who's back again. SpongeBob Big Yacht Pants Okay. Yeah, so I just saw the new SpongeBob movie in theaters, and I'm going to talk about what I thought of it. Man, what an interesting past half decade SpongeBob has had in terms of movies. There was the 2020 movie Sponge on the Run, which was originally set to be out in theaters, but then went to streaming only in the majority of the world due to COVID, and was only out in theaters in like a small section of the planet or something like that, and it didn't get very good reviews. I thought it was okay, decently enjoyable if you turn your brain off when you watch it, but it was basically culprit kind of slop, kind of a backdoor pilot for Camp Coral, the spinoff that nobody liked. And I'm saying that as someone who isn't one of those sponge rumors that say, oh, Camp Coral is disrespectful to Steven Hillenburg's legacy. I don't say that, but I still didn't really like Camp Coral. Then after that, we had the Sandy Cheeks movie in 2023, I think, or 2024, and nobody likes that because it was abysmal and an abomination. I don't like it very much. But then the same year, and by the way, that movie leaked, and the Plankton movie that came out after that movie also leaked, but it was actually pretty dang good. I thought it was pretty good. And now comes this movie, the first SpongeBob movie that was actually in theaters, not released to streaming since basically the second movie, excluding the small areas that the third movie managed to come out during the pandemic in theaters. And so was this movie any good? Well, I liked it. In fact, I had so much fun watching it. I had a blast watching it, honestly. It was a very fun movie. And I've been seeing some people online saying that it's actually even better than the first SpongeBob movie. And I don't know if I would go that far. I would have to rewatch it again before making a statement as big and out there as that. But I would say that this was probably the best SpongeBob movie since the first movie. That is, if you don't count the SpongeBob musical Live on Stage, which does technically count as a TV movie since it's a TV movie version of the musical, but a lot of people might not count that as a SpongeBob movie. I do, but excluding that movie, the SpongeBob movie Social SquarePants was, I would say, the best movie made in the SpongeBob franchise since the original movie, and that movie is fantastic. But yeah, I really did enjoy this movie. I kind of wish we would go back to the traditional 2D animated SpongeBob like the first movie and the majority of the second movie, but seeing how it's still kind of unusual to see CG animated or 3D animated, whatever the correct term of that would be in this case, that version of SpongeBob is still kind of unusual, minus the Camp Coral spinoff and I guess you could say the video games and the spin-off movies, all of which will release only on streaming. I was actually excited to see this version of SpongeBob, like a fully 3D animated SpongeBob on the big screen. Even if I do prefer overall the 2D animated version of SpongeBob, this was a nice change of things and I enjoyed it. The animation did look pretty good. It looked more like SpongeBob than Sponge on the Run, the third movie, but I also really love how that movie looks too because of how stylized it is. It's just not the most SpongeBob looking, but it's amazing too. I don't know what one I like better visually, because the animation snob in me wants to say, oh, well, that one is the best looking one of the two. But this one also just like feels a lot like SpongeBob brought into 3D, rather than a stylized 3D movie that happens to be about SpongeBob. I also saw some people saying that the character arc SpongeBob goes on in this movie was basically the same one he went on in the first movie, and to a certain extent I kind of agree, but not fully. I feel like that kind of does a bit of a injustice to the story of this movie, because like half of it is kind of the same as the first one, where it's SpongeBob in this movie realizing that he doesn't have to try to be something he's not to be a big guy, and then in the first movie it was SpongeBob realizing he doesn't have to try to be something he's not to be more than just a a kid and that it's okay to be a kid. So it is kind of similar, but one thing that this movie has that the first movie doesn't really have is a focus on the relationship between SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs. How Mr. Krabs is kind of a parental type of father figure to SpongeBob, not just his boss, not just someone who is greedy and loves money. In fact, other people online pointed out that in this movie, it's not even brought up the fact that Mr. Krabs loves money. And some would say, oh, that's out of character. No, it's not out of character. It's just not focusing on that specific character trait, but instead focusing on other character traits of Mr. Krabs that I and many others feel like can often be overlooked, especially after the first movie came out, especially in the post-movie era of SpongeBob. And I really appreciated how this movie focuses on it, and I think he did a very good job, especially near the end of the movie, how we get Mr. Krabs apologizing to SpongeBob and then them teaming up to defeat the Flying Dutchman, who, by the way, I thought was very good in the movie too. It's kind of a shame that they didn't get the guy who usually plays the Flying Dutchman in the show to come back to play the character, but they did get him to play the character in the recent video game that came out, which looks pretty good. And the guy so has it. I haven't played the game, but from the clips and whatnot, I can definitely tell that he's so very talented and definitely so has it. But I can see why they went with the approach of getting Mark Hamill to play the Flying Dutchman in this movie, because the main thing is, while he's not only a very talented voice actor, I mean, he literally played the Joker in Batman the Animated Series. The best version of the Joker on screen, in my opinion at least. But he also is an actual live-action actor too, and in this movie, they had the Flying Dutchman in live-action near the end of the movie. Slight spoiler, but it's also shown in the trailer, I believe. And he nails it. He does a very good job. He doesn't sound exactly like the main guy who usually voices the Flying Dutchman. I wish I knew his name. It's kind of blanking on me. I'm blanking on it. If I had to compare the voices, I definitely prefer the original voice of the Flying Dutchman, not Mark Hamill doing it. But as a live action Flying Dutchman, he was very good, and I can see why they chose him. He looks like what I would expect the Flying Dutchman to be in live action. And even though I don't really love his Flying Dutchman voice as much as the voice of him in the actual original series, he was still very good voicing the character. And yeah, it was just a very good movie. I definitely enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. SpongeBob Big Guy Pants okay. And yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Hey guys, today we'll be doing something no one's ever done before. An iceberg video. But not just an iceberg video. A video about a massive SpongeBob iceberg. And this is gonna be very fun and interesting. So without any further delay, let's dive in right now. This is the level at the very top of the iceberg, so a lot of these entries most of you will probably have heard about. At least, maybe, I think. I haven't really seen most of these entries yet. But as this video goes on, I'm expecting us to get into very niche territory. I am excited. Okay, Bikini Atoll. This is a very popular SpongeBob theory. People have often theorized that the island above Bikini Bottom in the show is canonically Bikini Atoll, an island that actually does exist and the American government used as a nuclear testing site between 1964 and 1958. And people think the advanced civilization of sea life in Bikini Bottom is a result of other nuclear explosions and stuff like that. Now, SpongeBob doesn't really have much continuity, but it has been confirmed that the island above Bikini Bottom is Bikini Atoll. So, the 7 deadly sins. This is another popular theory. Some people think the main characters in SpongeBob are supposed to represent the 7 deadly sins. SpongeBob, lust. Plankton, envy. Mr. Krabs, greed. Sandy, pride. Squidward, wrath. Gary, gluttony. And Patrick, sloth. Now, my biggest issue with this theory is you could technically argue Patrick would also be gluttony, because that basically means eating a lot, which is something he does do. But Patrick and Gary are related. This one isn't even a theory. Patrick and Gary are related. It was confirmed in the episode Rule of Dumb, Bikini Bottom Mysteries. This was a series on the official SpongeBob YouTube channel where each episode basically dived into theories about many of the characters in the show. It began in 2019 and the most recent episode of it came out in 2023. So yeah, this YouTube series probably isn't coming back. But it was pretty good while it lasted. Lego stop motion videos. Yes, there have been tons of people on YouTube who have made fan-made animations using Lego SpongeBob figures. The most prominent of these creators have been Lego SpongeBob, Crazy Films 1121, and Noah's Blobs. Some of these videos are actually pretty decent. Check them out if you're a SpongeBob fan. SpongeBoy. SpongeBoy was actually the original name of SpongeBob, but they ended up changing it to SpongeBob for copyright reasons. Pretty fun fact. King Neptune's design change. This most likely is about how in the series King Neptune is shown to have this character design, yet in the movie he has a completely different one. According to Vincent Vallo, the current showrunner of SpongeBob, this is because at the time there was a firewall between Nickelodeon and Paramount content, making it so the show couldn't use many assets from the movie, including Goofy Goobers and, yes, the movie design of King Neptune. The background characters. I mean, SpongeBob is a show that has a lot of background characters. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say about this entry. Maybe that some people have pointed out how the background characters are often very mean. I don't know. Chocolates. This was a pretty big meme from the episode Chocolate with Nuts, where a fish in the episode yells, "Chocolates!" This was another big meme, one that originated from the episode Something Smells. Good episode, by the way. Handsome Squidward. And another meme. 3 back to back. This one comes from the episode The Two Faces of Squidward, an episode about a head injury making Squidward handsome. You know, I know a thing or two about head injuries. This became such a big meme that the show actually referenced it years later and brought Handsome Squidward back in the episode Squidward's Sick Days. SpongeBob's age estimation. This has been a point for a lot of conversations and speculation for fans of the series, who have spent years trying to figure out how old SpongeBob is in the series. Rather than going into the many possible answers, I'm just gonna save you guys the time and say there is no answer. Because SpongeBob is a show that has no actual continuity, especially with Camp Coral, which completely screwed up any possible continuity the show might have had. But there is nothing wrong with headcanons and stuff like that. The Splinter. The Splinter is a season 6 episode about SpongeBob getting, well, a splinter. And this is a very infamous episode, as many people hated it for how gross a lot of the visuals in the episode were. One of the most prominent critics of this episode was the YouTuber Mr. Ento. Honestly, I kinda like this episode. The visuals don't really bother me, but I do get why many people hate it. One course meal controversy. This is another infamous episode. The majority of its infamy comes from a scene where Plankton lays in the middle of the street waiting for a vehicle to run him over, which is definitely a pretty dark joke. A lot of people thought it was too dark for a kid's show, and I mean, yeah, it actually might be. I don't know. I don't have a strong position on this controversy either way, but I can definitely see why many people hate on this episode. A Day with SpongeBob SquarePants. Man, where do I even begin with this one? A Day with SpongeBob SquarePants is the name of an unofficial movie about SpongeBob that was apparently being distributed by a company named Regal Films. The movie never came out, but the following description for the movie could be found on the studio's website. In this mockumentary, SpongeBob lives above ground like all Hollywood superstars. A phrase that SpongeBob is becoming old news, his boss runs a contest called Spend a Day with SpongeBob. The contest makes SpongeBob the talk of the town, as thousands of kids enter to win. The lucky winner is Seth, and he is ecstatic about his day with SpongeBob. However, the day becomes a roller coaster ride, as things don't go quite the way they planned. There was also a DVD for the movie put on pre-sale on on Amazon, and this cover went along with it. Now, it looks like an average DVD cover, but if you take a closer look, all of the quotes from the movie on the cover are from companies that don't even exist. And that kid in the picture is actually just a stock image, not even an actor from the movie. And to make things even better, apparently if you visit the Regal Films website, you will get a virus. Very nice, very nice. Now we are officially one level deeper into this iceberg, beginning with this next entry, Bob the Sponge. Finally, this is a topic I've been wanting to talk about on my channel for a while. Okay, so, the Intertitle Zone is a comic book that the creator of SpongeBob, Stephen Hillenburg, made back in 1989, 10 years before the show debuted. In an interview where he talked about the comic, he said, "I drew it while teaching at what is now called the Ocean Institute, to help explain the life of organisms living in tide pools along the Southern California coast in an entertaining way." The comic was hosted by two characters, a shrimp named Rocky and Bob the Sponge, who would eventually go on to become the character we all know, SpongeBob SquarePants. This comic used to be lost media, but then the entire comic was released on the internet back in April 2024, and you can check it out on Internet Archive, which I'll have linked in the description below, because it's actually so cool being able to see what was essentially the original SpongeBob. Plankton swearing. This one's about a clip of Mr. Lawrence, the guy who voices Plankton, that went pretty viral on YouTube, where he started swearing during an interview while talking in his Plankton voice. SpongeBoy Ahoy. Now this was going to be the original name of the series before they changed it to what it is today. Johnny Depp. This I believe is talking about an actually pretty awesome SpongeBob special, SpongeBob vs. the Big One. This was always one of my favorite specials when I was a kid. Anyways though, this SpongeBob special had a special guest voicing a character in it.
SpongeBob scored the biggest guest star ever, Johnny Depp.
I was born to do this.
Don't miss the brand new SpongeBob event, SpongeBob vs. the Big One, Friday, April 17th at 8.
SpongeBob homosexuality controversy. Apparently this one goes way back. In 2005, there was a huge controversy where multiple conservative Christian activist groups began claiming that SpongeBob and Patrick are gay and the show is pushing an agenda on kids. And some people still think that. And this is so stupid because the creator of SpongeBob has publicly said SpongeBob isn't gay, and he actually considers the character to be asexual. You know, like actual sea sponges. The perception of season 4 becoming appealing. After season 3 of SpongeBob, Stephen Hillenburg decided to step away from the show, or at least became less involved with it than he used to be. And the following seasons of the show, many people consider to have been a decline in quality. But some of those people have started saying that season 4 of SpongeBob was actually pretty good. And I agree. Barack Obama's favorite character. Bruh, I said I was done talking about politics on my channel. I'm just gonna make this quick. One time Obama said SpongeBob is his favorite cartoon character. Astrology with Squidward. This is like the third video I'm talking about this. Astrology with Squidward was a 6-episode long series of animated shows that aired on TV over 20 years ago, which had Squidward talking about astrology. For a while, the only footage of the series available on the internet was old and pretty low quality, until the official SpongeBob YouTube channel uploaded a video in 2020 which had HD footage of every episode of Astrology with Squidward. I also made a YouTube channel where you can watch all of the episodes in HD. March 2018 Hoax. This was a hoax online that SpongeBob was going to be cancelled in March 2018. Obviously that never happened because the show is still going and it's now on season 15. Jimmy Neutron takes over Nick. This is like the first thing that I didn't really know much about on this iceberg. Apparently Jimmy Neutron takes over Nick was a programming event back in 2001 and 2002 where Jimmy Neutron would show up and kinda edit what's on the screen in some way. Most notably, this happens during the airing of multiple SpongeBob episodes, and 2 of those times they got swapped out with puppets. SpongeBob Super Bowl petition. In 2018, the creator of SpongeBob, Stephen Hillenburg, passed away with ALS. To pay tribute to how much the show he created positively affected millions of people's childhoods, a big petition began online where SpongeBob fans were trying to get Sweet Victory played at the Super Bowl. It didn't necessarily happen, but there was a little SpongeBob animation attraction that played on TV during the 2019 halftime show. Palestinian Krusty Krab. This was an unofficial Krusty Krab restaurant that opened up in Palestine in 2014. It was essentially a full-on recreation, and when I found out about it when I was a kid, I always wanted to go to it. It got shut down back in 2019, but I don't think you'd be able to go there now anyways. Thanks, Israel. Very cool. Shanghai's alternate endings. When the SpongeBob special Shanghai's premiered back in 2001, it was a big event where there were additional patchy segments during the commercial breaks, and fans were able to vote on how the episode would end. All the alternate endings can still be viewed on YouTube. David Bowie's cameo. Okay, so get this. There was a SpongeBob special, Atlantis Squarepants, where pretty much every main character got to sing a song. They got the well-known David Bowie to voice a character in the special, but didn't have him sing anything. I don't get it. Now this one I'm not going to be able to pronounce very well. Yummo. This nightmare fuel is an unused character that can be found on one of the Mrs. Puff sprite sheets in the Krusty Krab in the 2019 online game SpongeBob Saves the Day. I was a teenage Gary deleted scene. In the season 1 episode, I Was a Teenage Gary, we see SpongeBob transform into a snail. Squidward becomes a snail too, but we don't see his transformation into one like how we see SpongeBob's. But some people claim there was a deleted scene where we do actually see his transformation. I don't think there is one though. SpongeBob in real life. This is a fan-made YouTube series created by a guy known as J Chase Films, where SpongeBob characters interact with a live-action setting, kinda like Sonic in the Sonic movies. And it's actually a pretty visually impressive series. The dude is very talented. Robo Squidward. This was essentially a scrapped boss battle in the PS2 SpongeBob game Battle for Bikini Bottom. It never made it into the game, but it was in the GBA version of the game, and when Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated came out in 2020, the boss was included in a brand new multiplayer mode. One that kinda sucked. BFBB Unused Boss Phase. The final boss of the game I was just talking about is a giant robot SpongeBob who, in the boss battle, dons karate gloves. But originally, there was gonna be another phase of the boss battle involving him having ankle arms. From the season 1 episode, Muscle Bob Buff Pants. BFBB Patrick's Dream Unused. In the game, there's a level where you travel to Patrick's Dream, and it's basically him standing in a black void and he just gives you a golden spatula, and it's pretty funny. But there was actually going to be a very different Patrick Dream level, which would have had platforms made out of candy, and Mrs. Puff seemingly was going to be in the level. BFBB Glove World. Unlike the previous unused levels, which can be viewed by going into the files for the game, this one you can't. There's not even much information about this one. As far as I know, there was just a concept image for the game involving Glove World, which means the people who made it were probably considering adding it as a level. SpongeBob Pilot Intro. This is a pretty cool piece of SpongeBob history. The original 1997 version of the pilot, Help Wanted, had a completely different opening than what became the SpongeBob theme song we all know.
I'm ready, I'm ready.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Reef Blower. This is a pretty notable season 1 episode because it was only a few minutes long and didn't have any spoken dialogue. This was because of production costs. Have a bowel, Mr. Squidward. Now this one is legendary. This is a reference to a pretty funny meme that originated from a fan-made SpongeBob cereal commercial that was uploaded to YouTube in 2014. And this is the section of the video that became a meme.
Have a bowl, Mr. Squidward.
My leg. Going all the way back to season 1, this has been a fan favorite gag for a while. Basically, something will happen and then someone in the background, usually a character named Fred, will yell, "My leg!" In season 11, there was even an entire episode about the gag, in which it was explained that Fred often intentionally gets himself injured because he has a crush on someone that works at the hospital. Red Mist. This was a supposed lost episode of SpongeBob. The episode is about Squidward performing at a concert, but then everyone in the crowd begins booing him. Squidward gets back home and is very sad. He's got bloodshot eyes. Then he picks up a GUN and self-deletes. The story of this lost episode was shared on the internet back in 2010 by someone who supposedly had an unpaid internship at Nickelodeon. Now, this episode never actually existed, as it is actually just a creepypasta. But it did actually get referenced in the season 12 episode, and ironically, that scene in the episode got edited out, almost becoming lost media, but you can still watch it on YouTube. The Krabby Patty secret formula. Krabby Patties are what they sell at the Krusty Krab, and in the universe that the show takes place in, every SpongeBob character is basically addicted to them. The entire society of Bikini Bottom lives off of Krabby Patties. So because of this, many fans over the years have wondered what the Krabby Patty secret formula is. Some people think the answer is drugs, which would make sense. Others believe maybe there is no secret formula, and what makes Krabby Patties so special is just the placebo effect. At the end of the day, Nickelodeon has never officially revealed what the secret formula is, and probably never will, so people will probably forever continue speculating. House Fancy toenail scene. Now this is about, in my opinion, and the opinion of many other people, one of the worst visual gags in SpongeBob. It's just way too graphic and unpleasant. We are 3 levels into this iceberg, and I feel like things are getting juicy now. Roger Bumpus arrested. Back in 2016, the voice actor of Squidward, Roger Bumpus, got DUI charges, which is basically driving while drunk. And look, it's been almost a decade, everyone has a moment they're not proud of, I'm not gonna judge him for it. Sailor Mouth Uncensored. In the episode Sailor Mouth, SpongeBob and Patrick start going around Bikini Bottom swearing, but whenever they say a swear, a dolphin sound plays instead as a way to censor what they're saying. Now, apparently, the original audio of the episode had the voice actors actually swearing, not just pretending to swear, and apparently, some of that audio has actually leaked on the internet. I'm not gonna play it though in this video because I don't want this video getting taken down, but it's pretty interesting. Spongehenge scaring kids. I couldn't find anything about this, but I guess this episode scared some kids. I don't know. Squidward's father. Squidward's father is depicted in the series as being someone who is into pranks, and therefore gets along very well with SpongeBob and Patrick. Unfortunately, though, he never hugged Squidward. Encino, California. This is where Patchy the Pirate canonically lives, and like Bikini Atoll, it's an actual place. The mystery of Pearl's mother. Now, Mr. Krabs is a crab. Shocking, I know. But yet, his daughter, Pearl, is a whale. And we have never seen the mother in the show, leading many fans to speculate about why and what happened. My favorite thing to come from this mystery has always been this fan-made comic, which is both sad but also pretty wholesome, as it shows that the mother was killed by the hooks, and Mr. Krabs, who is usually just shown as a greedy character who only cares about money, actually steps in and saves Pearl from the hooks when she was a baby. Have you seen this snail? Original plot. In this episode, Gary runs away from home, and an old lady finds him and takes him in, begins feeding him non-stop, and he eventually finds a closet full of empty shells and escapes from the lady. The implication is that the old lady was stuffing him to eat him. Apparently, in the original version of the episode, this was gonna be an even more blatant and obvious plot point, and so that's implied. Stolen rooftop balloons. A couple decades ago. Crazy. There was a promotional thing involving 9-foot tall SpongeBob balloons being placed on top of Burger Kings, and back in 2004, they began disappearing. Someone was apparently stealing these giant balloons. The conspiracy theorist in me wants to say I feel like this might have been some type of marketing strategy, but I'm not actually saying it was, just a theory. The 2009 Burger King controversy. This one is funny. Back in 2009, there was an infamous Burger King SpongeBob commercial involving female backup dancers that are shown to have square-shaped butts. It's so strange that this commercial was even made. Honestly, I love it. Morning Glory. I didn't even know this before making this video. Apparently, this is a Ween song, you know, the guys who made Ocean Man, and this was originally going to be played over the SpongeBob movie end credits before they decided to go with Ocean Man instead. Imagine a universe where the SpongeBob movie didn't end with Ocean Man. SpongeBob lost dubs. Audio dubs are basically voice acting in another language made for international audiences, and according to the internet, there was a huge list of SpongeBob audio dubs that are now lost. Just One Bite, deleted scene. This was a scene involving a match and gasoline catching Squidward on fire when he tries to break into the Krusty Krab. Apparently, the reason it got banned on TV was 9/11. That sounds like an edgy joke, but I am completely serious. Super Sponge, lewd concept out. This one isn't about my fan series Super Sponge, which you guys should definitely check out by the way. This is about the 2001 2.5D platform game Super Sponge. And people found images deep inside the game files that were so inappropriate, I'm not even gonna put them in this video. You guys are welcome. Texas, deleted scene. This one isn't necessarily a scene, I don't think. It's more like just a 1-second visual gag that never made it into the final episode. Still interesting stuff though. SpongeBob Rehydrated, 2003. This was a 3D animated SpongeBob show that was a parody of The Matrix and aired on Nickelodeon back in 2003 in the style of a fake teaser trailer, leading many people to believe this was an actual episode of SpongeBob that became lost media, until it was revealed in 2017 that there was no actual episode. Golden real-life replica of SpongeBob's house. Pretty self-explanatory. This is a replica of SpongeBob's Pineapple House at Nickelodeon Hotels and Resorts. We are now in the deepest section of this iceberg. I have no clue what we are getting ourselves into, but let's find out. SpongeBob Invader Pants and Krabs' Army. These are actual confirmed episodes that never got made. One involving SpongeBob and Sandy trying to contact aliens from outer space, and the other being about Mr. Krabs putting SpongeBob and Squidward in a boot camp. One theory as to why these episodes never got made is that it was around the same time the second SpongeBob movie was being made, which affected the production of episodes, so much so that there was an entire year of like no episodes airing on TV. Pamtree. This is a guy on YouTube known for making some very disturbing and creepy animations of SpongeBob, along with some other IPs. I've actually been subbed to his channel for like a decade. His videos are psychotic, but in a good way. The Paper's Climax. I don't know why this is on the iceberg, but Squidward actually goes insane at the end of this episode and gives his entire house to SpongeBob. It's pretty funny. Pre-hibernation week, alternate ending. Man, this one's a mystery too. All I could find was what I think is just a badly written alternate ending by some fan on DeviantOut. Sandy gets arrested. This is something that actually did happen in the show. She got arrested in the season 7 episode Someone's in the Kitchen with Sandy, an episode many people do not like. And I personally have made a video about once on an old YouTube channel of mine half a decade ago, talking about how bad of an episode it is. And maybe one day soon I will make an updated review of it, because it really is a bad episode. SpongeBob and Patrick Doppelgangers. These were tall and more humanoid characters that look like SpongeBob and Patrick and would have been in the special Dunces and Dragons. Apparently the SpongeBob one was gonna be voiced by the same voice actor of Squidward, which is pretty funny. Gary being milked. I never knew about this, but there was originally gonna be a scene in the season 5 episode New Digs where Gary is shown being milked. And now, thanks to this iceberg video, I have Gary being milked in my search history on Google. Thank you. Squidward gets run over by a truck. So, when looking into this one, I found a meme where Squidward is wearing a pair of headphones, and a truck just shows up from nowhere and runs him over. And I don't know if this video is what the iceberg was referencing, but it was pretty funny. Sandy's original naked design. I really did not want to look this one up on Google, and what I found was pretty disturbing, but luckily not in the way I thought it would be. This nightmare fuel is what Sandy was originally gonna look like in the episode Someone's in the Kitchen with Sandy. Plankton taking out SpongeBob's brain. This one goes kinda deep. In the season 1 episode Plankton goes inside SpongeBob's head and takes control of his brain. This episode has a happy ending, of course, but some people have theorized that this actually did some damage to SpongeBob's brain over time, which is why SpongeBob is shown to be a lot more stupid in post-movie SpongeBob. Not a bad theory. Drowning fan incidents. Yup, it's time to talk about this one. Back in September 2002, a rumor began to spread about a child who was on a cruise ship and saw a pineapple in the ocean, jumped in to try to find SpongeBob, and ended up drowning. This would be very tragic if it actually happened, but thankfully though, none of it did actually happen. You'll never guess what I found in my pants. Great, now there's gonna be audio on the internet of me saying that. Apparently, SpongeBob said that in the original airing of the episode Run Crab's Trash, before they changed it to have him say,
You'll never guess what I found in my sock last night. Go ahead, guess.
This one is also fake, but I feel like that should be kinda obvious. Mr. Puff is in Shell City. This is a popular theory that Mrs. Puff's husband got kidnapped by the Cyclops, and is one of the pufferfish that we see at Shell City in the SpongeBob movie.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Are you okay, Crystal? How long have you been up?
Hi, Crystal. I'm SpongeBob.
Oh, holy crap, that sponge just talked.
Hey guys, Cartoon Pulse here, back with another reaction video. Recently, I reacted to the infamous SpongeBob fan-made animation, SpongeBob in China, and a commenter under that video said that I should react to SpongeBob Hemp Pants. And conveniently, I actually did already plan on making a follow-up video in which I react to SpongeBob Hemp Pants. And I have watched this once, I think, back when I was a kid, but that was many years ago, and so it's basically just like a fever dream to me now. I barely even remember any of it, so it's basically like a false reaction that I'm gonna be doing right now. And also, I did do a tiny bit of research into what SpongeBob Hemp Pants is, and basically what it seems to be is this parody of SpongeBob that was made for adults and made for this TV show that had a bunch of other TV show parodies, and this was back in like 2004 that this came out on TV. There were only 3 segments of SpongeBob made for the show. Apparently Nickelodeon, I think, tried to sue them for making this, but all of that, I think, got settled, and now we have this free to watch on YouTube, and yeah, let's do this.
Are you ready, stoners? Oh!
I'm not a stoner, but okay.
Hold on,
Coughing,
kid.
alright.
Oh, who lives in a bung in a dormitory? SpongeBob Hemp Pants. Disgusting and green and sticky as he. SpongeBob Hemp Pants.
You sound like slimy. Is that what hemp is like? For the record, it's gonna be probably obvious, but I have never done weed or any drugs for that matter, and I plan on never doing any drugs. I don't have anything against people who do drugs, but I'm going into this as someone who, yeah, doesn't know much about really what this is parodying, aside from SpongeBob. I know that side of the parody, but not the drug side of the parodying of this.
Chronic is something you do. SpongeBob Hemp Pants. Put your thumb on the cob and he'll smoke it with you. SpongeBob SpongeBob Hemp Pants, SpongeBob Hemp Pants, SpongeBob
His eyes.
Hemp Pants.
You know, Hashbrick, I can't think of anything better than
Hashbrick.
hanging out with my best friend and playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
I know one thing that could make it better.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I think I am.
Then I'll just roll up a big fat... Oh no!
What's wrong, SpongeBob?
We're out of seaweed!
These facial expressions are actually pretty good. Like, look at that. Those like actual SpongeBob cloudy facial expressions. Dang, and the character designs are... they're not bad. This is a lot better than that very racist SpongeBob in China parody thing that I reacted to recently.
Wait, I've got an idea.
What?
Let's go get some more.
Good idea.
Seconds later.
What do you want, SpongeBob?
Hi, Squidward. We'd like 1 sack of primo seaweed, please.
That'll be 65 clams.
65 clams, huh? Hold on. Here you go.
That's just a bunch of junk. Not worth a stem. Get out of here.
Squidward, please, just this one time. You gotta help me out, man. I swear I'll pay you back, please.
Dang, he's itching for that stuff. Like, dang.
No, no, no. And don't come back till you have 65 clams or something that's worth 65 clams.
But we're broke and we don't have anything that's worth 65 clams.
Then sell your asses on the street.
Oh, no.
Oh wait, that's like a drug duo type of stereotype, isn't it? Being broke. I mean, not that it's not accurate, probably. I assume if you're spending so much money all the time on drugs, you don't have much money for anything else. But wait, no, hold up. They need money for drugs. So is it just that they've spent it on so much drugs already that they don't have any drug money?
What are you gonna do? I don't want to sell my ass on the street.
I have
Swearing. Okay, that's something that you wouldn't see in SpongeBob. Well, none of that's the stuff you would see in SpongeBob, but you know what I mean. Also, does SpongeBob not have a job? Like, SpongeBob has a job. I guess he doesn't have a job? Huh.
an idea.
Wait, Pussy Crack
Are you sure
House.
this is a good idea?
Sure. Now we could trade this stolen stereo for some seaweed.
Fun fact, some of my classmates back in high school used to call me a crackhead. Like, figuratively, of course, not literally, but...
I do it all the time.
Yay! Nyah! And our asses remain unsullied.
Hey! What are you doing to my car?
Mr. Krabs!
These cowgirl designs.
Get back here with my stereo, you bottom feeders!
Seconds later.
One of you.
Check it out, we got an in-dash CD, DVD, MP3 player with 32,000 color TFT display, detachable face. Can we get a sack of seaweed for this?
Dang, he really did have crack. I was gonna say, that is very out of character for him to be talking like this. This is SpongeBob hemp pants, I thought. Shouldn't he be talking out slow and stuff? But no, they literally just got crack, so it checks out.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
This thing is awesome. My stereo! Give me back my stereo!
Whoa, stuff's getting intense now.
Stop stolen goods!
Even as a drug parody version of himself, SpongeBob is causing mischief and a pain in everyone else's butt. I mean, same, but...
I'm stealing it back. You got that, sucker? I got it, all right.
Hey, do you think Squidward is gonna be okay?
Who cares?
Yeah! Screw him!
Okay, that's so
He's a
mean-spirited.
Hashpick, I think we're
Cop
getting
cows.
busted again.
Cop lights.
So what?
Wait, busted again? So it's happened multiple times? Okay, that was crazy. Oh, so Camp Chaos presents VH1 Illustrated. So that's the show that these segments were originally made that I was talking about. Yeah, that was... Oh, 3 minutes and 33 seconds long. What do you look at that? Make a wish. That was... It's kind of poetic that this is a parody in which SpongeBob and all of his friends are drugs, because that was a trip to watch. Yeah, I can see why Nickelodeon got upset about this being on TV, because it's not a good look having something like this airing on TV. I mean, it's obviously not SpongeBob, but also, I don't know, the drawing style and everything and the character designs, they are actually kind of in the style of SpongeBob somewhat. Like, it did a good job capturing the essence of the visual style of SpongeBob while still being completely cracked out and also some would say marijuana'd out. But I don't know. Basically just SpongeBob, but flipped on its head and made for adults. I can see why Nickelodeon didn't like this existing, but I thought it was kind of entertaining. And that was actually only episode 1. We got a couple more episodes to watch, a couple more segments.
Smoking the chronic is something you do.
Okay, also that logo is very, very similar to the logo of SpongeBob, so that's also probably another thing that Nickelodeon took issue with. Not even just like the fact that the character designs and character and just everything is so similar, but even the logo is almost exactly one-to-one to the official logo for SpongeBob. Yeah, I can see them having an issue with that. It makes it a good parody, though. The fact that it's very similar.
What kind of seaweed is in these brownies again?
Malaysian fire seaweed. One of my Xbox Live buds sent them to me from a place called Bangkok. Bangkok.
Nah! Bangkok! That's a funny word! Nah! Hashbrick, maybe you should slow down on the Malaysian fire brownies.
No way!
Hashbrick?
What?
You need orange slices,
That was a
pronto.
good
Be right
animation.
back. Hello, Hashbrick.
Who are you?
I'm SpongeBob's Vapor Trail. But the truth is, we're all one consciousness, experiencing itself subjectively.
Whoa, I was just thinking the same thing, except my thinking included nachos.
So wait, I'm kind of confused as someone who, doesn't do drugs. Wait, so is the implication that this is Patrick just tripping, or is that like when someone, I guess, smokes or something, and then like the smell of whatever they're smoking is just like in the air, even when that person leaves? Is that kind of what's going on? Like SpongeBob being a drug, he left, but he's still kind of there in the air. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's keep playing.
Let's eat, man. Let's go get some nachos.
Yay!
Oh, I could go for some nachos.
Nachos!
4 orange slices for my freaked out friend. Hashbrick? Hashbrick? No, my best friend is gone. He left me alone with all these Malaysian fire seaweed brownies. Hashbrick! Wah!
Better not have. Okay. What the heck? Okay, that guy isn't in the character design and style of SpongeBob. What the heck?
Where are you?
This is so odd. What the heck?
Wow.
Seriously, I feel like I'm tripping right now. Wait, have you seen this? I'm not gonna say that because I don't know what that means. Huh. He's lost his mind. Had a bug on me. Stupid
Hey,
bugs.
SpongeBob! I
Down
gotta take a
bugs.
leak.
Hashbrick? Hashbrick! Where were you? I looked all over for you.
Holy crap! What happened to you, SpongeBob?
I thought I lost my best friend forever, so I kind of fell into a fit of depression, loneliness, and self-destruction.
Oh, I was just hanging out with your vapor
They'll
trail.
laugh after
We
saying
ate
that.
nachos, then chased a hobbit. Then my high wore off and he went away.
Wow, you really lost your mind.
I lost my mind. You shaved your nipples.
We're a couple of screw-ups.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I wasn't paying attention. Did he actually do that? What? That caught me off guard.
Hi, Hashbrick. Hi, SpongeBob.
That was like a sleep paralysis demon face. What? I'm gonna see that when I'm sleeping tonight. Oh, that was something. A tiny bit nightmare fuel, but not that much different than the first segments. But not necessarily like that's a bad thing. This is still a very trippy and crazy and out there parody.
Welcome back to Bong TV News. I'm
Bong
Kurt Leiter.
TV.
Our top story, legendary jam band Fish will be performing a benefit concert for the Free Tommy Chong Foundation tonight.
Fish? That's my favorite band.
Wait, isn't there an actual band named Fish? Maybe that's the joke. Whoa, that was that was an interesting pause frame. Sorry, guys. That was not intentional.
This is gonna be so much fun. Then the next day it'll be fun trying to remember it.
And I know a way to make it even more funner than that.
I don't have any sea mushrooms,
down, Bugs.
SpongeBob.
No! What are we gonna do? How can we go to a fish concert without sea mushrooms?
Oh, everyone knows their music sucks.
They're always bugging this universe's Squidward for their drugs. I wonder if that's part of the fan theory, because there is actually a fan theory that all of the SpongeBob characters are high. I wonder if part of that is that some people think Squidward, being the adult character of the show, he's the one supplying them out with drugs, or if that's just like the show, this parody show taking creative liberty. But yeah, actually that's another reason why I wanted to make this video reacting to this parody, because I recently made a video about my top 10 SpongeBob fan theories, and a popular fan theory that I don't remember if I talked about in that video, but a popular fan theory is that all of the characters are on drugs. And I just thought, yeah, you know, maybe a few days after I upload that video, I'll upload a video reacting to SpongeBob Pamper Pants. And that was a month or two ago, but still.
Sober.
Calm down. Look, I can take you to a
ass
friend
is
of mine.
showing
She's
in
a little
this.
weird and used up, but she should have some sea mushrooms.
Was it showing in the first 2 episodes? I wasn't paying enough attention to his ass. I feel odd saying that sentence.
Oh, hey, what's going on?
These guys
Oh,
want to
man.
buy some sea mushrooms off you. They can give you porno tapes and clean spoons for trade.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Are you okay, Crystal? How long have you been up?
Hi, Crystal. I'm SpongeBob.
Oh, holy crap, that sponge just talked.
Yeah, it's okay, Crystal. They're cool.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
You should come with us to the fish concert.
Yeah, it'll be so much fun.
Be cool, you two. I think she's tweaking.
Whoa. Wow.
Come on, Crystal.
Okay, that is like the one mental image that I had left in my brain of this parody from the time that I watched it when I was a kid. Sorry, Mom, for watching this, by the way. But I remember seeing how cracked out of her mind and just like unhealthy and gross looking this drugged out version of Sandy was made to look in this animation. And that image, just like imagining, like, what if that was me or something like that? What if I was somebody hooked on any drug, basically, and it affected my health so much that I look like and feel like a walking corpse, like a living dead person, and like like a zombie, and felt like a zombie, and was overwhelmed and confused and just mentally suffering. Like, imagine how that would feel. And just seeing that when watching this parody when I was a kid, watching this parody on YouTube and seeing that image, that just always stuck with me as one of the reasons why I would never want to do drugs, because I wouldn't want to. I know that this is like out for comedy purposes, this parody character, but just imagine like living that type of life, or that is the state of how you exist and everything. That sounds terrible. And so yeah, that just always like motivated me also to like, not that I like know what to eat drug deals or anything anyway, so like, you know, but that is one of the main reasons why I've just always felt motivated to never go down any path like that, because that just sounds and looks awful, you know, like truly. I guess you could say this traumatized me when I was a kid. But yeah, okay, not to get too deep in this video reacting to a SpongeBob parody, but what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and thank you guys so much for watching this video. If there's anything else you would like to see me react to or make a video about, I also make videos that are not reaction videos. I make deep dive videos about stuff, like video essays. I am currently in the process of making a video about the first and second SpongeBob movie, so stay tuned to this channel if you like SpongeBob stuff. It's a nice day today. I'm happy I filmed this video outside. The weather is getting nicer and nicer, and I love it. And yeah.
The main monitor. Let's see. Oh, I already pulled up the video. Alright, then we get, there we go. Hey. Alright, chat. The world premiere Well, it was 13 hours ago, but the world premiere, same day-ish, almost. Yeah, I'm glad you're excited, man. I'm excited to watch it. The second world premiere, for sure. Let's, I could change to the just chatting category, but it's not going to be super long. So let's just watch this shit. Chat, I'll link the video in the chat. So if anybody wants to, you know, if anybody's here and they want to peep it out, they can. This is from the great cartoon post. What happened to Funny Swirl? We're getting our answers right now.
Popular YouTubers come and go. Sometimes it's because they get exposed for being a terrible person. Other times it's because they just feel like it's time for them to retire, and so they make a video.
Is the audio good, by the way? Turn it up a little bit.
Announcing their decision. But occasionally, a
Hey!
YouTuber will just
Look who it
disappear.
is.
And that's the case with Funny Swirl, a Minecraft YouTuber who uploaded his last video back in 2020. But why? What happened to Funny Swirl?
Ooh, Skywars
That's what we're
Classic.
gonna find out in this video. But first, let's take a look at what his channel was like before he disappeared.
Classic intro, dude.
John T, also known as Jack and Funny Swirl, created his YouTube channel back in
John T.
August 2008. But his earliest video still public
Oh,
on his
classic.
channel was a playthrough of the SpongeBob movie PC game that he uploaded in January 2011. That same playthrough would go on to become his most viewed video, gaining 10 million views.
Yeah.
Later in 2011, he
Yeah,
started
Duncan
uploading
in
Minecraft
Minecraft.
videos.
Classic.
The videos were pretty low quality, with a very low
Whoa.
FPS.
Whoa. I resent that cartoon post. These are the highest quality vids, okay? You didn't get higher quality than this at the time, okay? This is peak Minecraft.
And they were pretty simple videos, like these two he uploaded of a Minecraft roller coaster. However, while they were not anything amazing, they did set the
Whoa.
groundwork for more of the type
Whoa.
of content that would become his main gimmick. Minecraft videos. He would go on to have many different Minecraft series on his channel.
Not as peak as my later vids. All right, that's fair. Still, my poor heart.
But one of his first big ones was his Minecraft Hunger Games series,
Yeah,
which began
classic.
in March 2013. Based on the movie of the same name, it's basically a
2013, that's
multiplayer
crazy.
Minecraft-based fan game
12
where
years
players have to go around finding items in chests and fighting each other to see who will be the last one standing.
So I gotta go get that guy before he gets everything. Actually, at this point, he probably has already grabbed everything. Oh my god! Where was that guy hiding? He was like a pigeon hiding in the tree. Wait, do pigeons do that? I'm gonna just assume that they do. Oh my god. Okay, GG, dude. Oh my god! What? Oh, it was a hacker. Okay.
It didn't get as many views as the
Dude, I forgot. I used to, bro. I called everybody a hacker back in the day. People, I mean, that was sus. I'll say, you know, I'll admit that was pretty fucking sus. But I called hacks pretty easily. Loved your Hunger Games vids too. Hey, thank you, Cartoon Post. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I made like 120 episodes of it, so you know, I hope someone was watching it.
videos he would eventually make. But for a while, the series he made on it would become one of his main things, as Funny Swirl would go on to upload a total of 124 episodes
Damn!
of it. But
I
he
was pretty
didn't
close.
just make Minecraft Hunger Games videos,
No,
as
he
he
did
also uploaded some other stuff,
Kingdom
like a few
Hearts.
videos playing the game Kingdom Hearts. And in August 2013,
Hey,
a
my
Minecraft parody of the song Counting Stars by One Republic, titled Fighting Mobs, which
Yeah,
had singing
classic.
by
Hey, what's up, Ermac? Sorry, I haven't tapped in lately. Hey, it's all good, Ermac. I haven't even been live in the last couple days because I was in New York for a couple days. So you're totally fine. I'm glad you're here now. We're watching a little mini documentary on what happened to Funny Swirl by Cartoon Post here in the chat. So buckle in, get some popcorn and a nice soda or something, you know.
another YouTuber, December, and then a follow-up music
December.
video in December
Great vocals.
2013 titled PvP, which was a Minecraft parody of Safe and Sound by Capital Cities.
It's PvP. Time
In March 2014,
Classic, dude. Classic. I like the little rip notch thing too, by the way. Yeah, no, he was a really good vocalist. I was really glad that I stumbled upon him. He was, you know, doing work for like a couple other parodies, but you know, none of them were like that big. So, because, you know, they had other big singers in the Minecraft parody scene, but they were, you know, they were too big for me. They wouldn't have seen my little email or my message.
Funny Soul uploaded a video celebrating a very big milestone for his channel, 10,000 subscribers.
Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Jack. It's today I'm here with my 10,000 subscriber special. And if you couldn't tell that this wasn't a Minecraft video, then I don't even know what you're doing with the thumbnail and the title and, you know, just by the fact that you're seeing my face. I don't know. If you guys think this is a Minecraft video, then you guys got to go somewhere else. You guys got to go to like a mental hospital. But anyway,
Damn,
so,
bro.
Yeah.
Jack would make multiple
savage.
other Minecraft gaming series, like a Minecraft Skyblock and a modded Walking Dead series.
Oh,
But none of them
classic,
became
both of them.
as significant for his channel as the series he began in November 2014, Swirly Survival.
Last time on Swirly
Hell
Survival.
yeah, dude.
All you
Hell
fans, you got to
yeah.
be able to treat each other well and be... What the?
You know, I must say, first of all, I like that, you know, besides talking about just like where I've been, I like that, you know, you go through like my whole kind of channel history. That's really cool.
What the heck? No! Wait, whoa. The tree that took me so long, it's gone!
It followed Funny Swirl finding himself at a city that basically worships him and his YouTube channel. The citizens
As they
of the
fucking
city
should.
being some of his fellow YouTuber friends. But conflict breaks out between the half of the city that is and the half that isn't wealthy. And he has to choose which one to side with. What makes this series very different from everything else he did before was that, unlike all of his previous gaming videos, this was a Minecraft roleplay series, meaning it was completely scripted, like a TV show. And this type of content would become a big hit for him, as he would also make other fan-favorite Minecraft roleplay series.
Oh, I gotta cut you off here. Fun fact about that, it's funny you mentioned that as being a roleplay series, because when I first started Swirly Survival, I did not have that idea at all. I mean, that's essentially what it was, but I wasn't, you know, I don't think roleplay was really a concept yet, or at least it wasn't super popular on YouTube. So I didn't think about that at all. I just thought it would, actually originally, yeah, really. So it was, Swirly Survival was supposed to be just a regular survival series, and then I thought that would be, you know, too plain, and, you know, many people have done that. So I was like, okay, how about instead it's like a survival series, but there's also like a town that I could do like little quests for, you know, like essentially adding in a roleplay element to it, but it was supposed to still be like mostly survival. And then, you know, again, just like little side bits here and there in the town. And then it became, you know, the town had a war and a conflict, and like, you know, it quickly became, okay, it's mostly just about the town and the story. And then I started doing, I don't know if you ever saw, I did like a SpongeBob skit that was like 3 minutes long in Minecraft. And that was not roleplay, but I did that on the SpongeBob map that I used for my roleplay. And then when I did that, I had the idea, oh, maybe I should, you know, actually make like a whole thing about this, like a whole series. So yeah. Oh, you talk about the skit later. Oh, okay, that's fun. Yeah, perfect then. But yeah, it was, you know, provide a little backstory to it, because you know, I assume other people had done role plays before I did Swirly Survival, but it's fun to think that I started a whole YouTube genre. Fun to think that, you know, I created Minecraft role plays. I definitely didn't, but it's nice to think I did.
Like a Walking Dead one, which was about Jack after his high school temporarily shut down March 2020 style due to a mysterious illness, having to survive a zombie apocalypse, eventually joining a group of other survivors.
All right, here we go. All right, I want to conserve this ammo. I don't want to use any ammo. Okay, all right, got him. Oh, no. Oh, man, oh, no.
And in July 2015, he
Hey, here we
uploaded
go.
a Minecraft skit where he played Patrick Sal
Like 30
from
seconds later.
SpongeBob.
Mr. Krabs pays me a couple bucks whenever I blow up Plankton's chum bucket for him. You should probably cover your ears. And And now you see why I'm unemployed. After a long day of messing other people's lives up, it's time to return to my rock for some rest. Oh my god! I really let myself go!
And you could say that this video...
You know, that... really funny skit, by the way. Hey, thank you, man. Yeah, you know, it's funny. I vividly remember creating, like, I remember writing the whole script for it. I remember being really excited about, you know, putting it together, and I was really happy with how it came out. And it didn't get a ton of views, because, you know, this is before my roleplays and stuff. But I'm very glad that after I started posting the roleplays, people went back to watch this, and I had a number of people be like, oh, this is actually, you know, really funny. I also had a lot of people who were, you know, there's like, you know, bleeped out swears and stuff in the video. It was like a bit more adult than my other SpongeBob stuff. So a lot of people coming back and saying like, this is not the Minecraft SpongeBob I know. And I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. It's a little different.
Was like episode 0 of what he would then start on his channel, a Minecraft SpongeBob series,
like
one that followed him playing Jack style, basically Patrick from SpongeBob but with a different name. As he moves out of New Kelp City, gets a place in Bikini Bottom, becomes friends with SpongeBob, and gets up to many different shenanigans. Not surprisingly, since it's a combination of Minecraft, one of the biggest video games ever, and SpongeBob, one of the biggest animated shows, this became his most viewed Minecraft series, with multiple episodes of it getting millions of views.
Yeah.
It seems like Funny Swirl has found a new successful formula for his content, as his channel was going strong and people were loving the videos. But then, after dropping episode 12 of Minecraft SpongeBob in November,
it's surprising how long it took for you to make a Minecraft SpongeBob series given your skin. Yeah, you know, it was the kind of thing that once I thought of it, it was like, oh, duh. Yeah, I should have been doing this forever, you know? But I also don't know. I mean, if I had done this series years earlier, or even like a, you know, a little while earlier, you know, if it was before the roleplay genre really became popular, it's entirely possible it wouldn't have done nearly as well, you know? But yeah, it was definitely destined to happen. It was destiny, for sure. And you're right that it propelled my channel a lot. It, you know, I was getting like a couple... You know, most people weren't around back in the old days before the roleplays, so they wouldn't really know. But my videos were getting like, maybe like, you know, a couple thousand views after like, you know, weeks. Like in the first day, it might get like 1,000 views, most of my videos, and that'd be like, you know, the maximum amount they'd get. So it went from that to getting, you know, many more views. So it was, you know, it was a crazy time, really. Oh, the Halloween SpongeBob episode. Yeah, that was how you found the channel? Okay, that's sick. Yeah, that was like episode 3, right? So that was right at the start of it all. Hey, so you've been here pretty early on. You've been here since, yeah, it was like 2015.
2015, he suddenly stopped uploading videos with no explanation for a couple months, leading many people on YouTube to wonder,
oh, there's still 12 minutes in this. Okay, we're actually getting into the nitty-gritty here.
Why he left. And some people even began spreading a rumor that he died. But all these rumors ended when Funny Soul posted a comment under the SpongeBob video saying, "Hello everyone, despite what some people are commenting,
oh my god,
no,
you found the comment from way back then. That's crazy.
I am not dead. No, I did not quit YouTube. I was simply on a break from YouTube, but thankfully that break is over. I will be uploading an update video tomorrow to explain where I have been and why I have not been uploading. I hoped for it to be a surprise, but I don't want any of you believing lies in the comments." It ended up actually taking a couple weeks, but eventually the video titled "Where Have I Been" came out in January 2016. In the video, he gave everyone an update.
Oh yeah, you saw the comment like when it first came out? That's crazy. Yeah, you were following all this in real time. That's crazy.
On what happened. He explains how his new style of roleplay content actually takes way more time and effort to make than unscripted gaming videos, which led to him getting kind of burnt out.
So, right, I think it was like November 12th was like my last upload. Right around that point, I was starting to kind of lose my, not interest in doing roleplays, but like, it was kind of starting to wear down on me just because, if you guys don't know, roleplays take quite a long time to make. I mean, you got to, you know, plan out what you're going to do in an episode, whether it be like a SpongeBob or a Walking Dead. Like, Walking Dead takes like longer, I'd say, just because like there's like one big story that has to follow, and SpongeBob is just kind of like, you know, like whatever I'm feeling like that day. But both of them still take a lot of time to make, and so does Story Survival, and all my videos take some time, but like the roleplays especially take quite a long time. You gotta prepare what you're gonna do for them, then you actually have to like set them up, and I have to give each character dialogue, and I have to like build whatever I need to build and whatever, and then I have to actually film the episode, then I have to edit it together, and then make a thumbnail, and then upload it, and
He also talked about a phenomenon he gets, where whenever he goes a couple days without doing something he enjoys, he will begin to forget why he enjoys it.
I don't know if this is just like weird for me, but
Still true.
something that happens to me with like
Still
anything
true,
that I
honestly.
do, whether it be like something I don't want to do or something I do want to do, like even if it's like a game that I love, like if I take like a 2-day break from it or like a little amount of time away from something, I kind of like forget that I enjoy doing that thing, and I lose like all my motivation to play it. Like even though I loved like making these role plays and like I really liked having like the creativity to make these things, and like I love seeing all you guys like loving the video.
Pretty relatable. Yeah, I mean, so it's, I mean, in a sense, it's like some procrastination. I'm definitely a procrastinator. But like, it's a different element to it, you know. There's something different about like, it's not even like losing interest per se. It's just like, kind of lose like the momentum that you have for something. And again, it's the same with anything. It's like playing games or like, you know, I like playing golf, but like if I stop playing golf for like a week or whatever, like I'll kind of just like forget about it, and then it, you know, I have like a million other things going on in life. It's just too much to life, honestly. They got to simplify it. When is the next update coming out where they make that shit easier? You meant to finish like 3 months ago? Hey, well, I appreciate you taking your time with it, making sure you do it right, you know.
Even though I love doing that,
and you saved it for the perfect time. You saved it for when I came back to streaming, so perfect. You know, if you posted it 3 months ago, you know, who knows? I would have watched it off stream probably.
that it was still like after.
And yeah, there's the getting back into stuff is always hard. You know, you forget stuff, and then you got to like catch yourself back up on everything. Life is tough, you know.
Not doing it for like 2 or 3 days, like I completely forgot why I wanted to do it again.
It was also at this point that he was getting closer to 50,000 subscribers, a sub count that would eventually grow to 160,000. He did begin uploading again after the update video, business as usual, but after only 11 uploads and about a month of being back, he disappeared again, with his final video at that time being one about him playing Skyros at 3 AM and being overtired.
We have a real off and on relationship going on right
Classic,
now. This guy
dude.
first wants to team, then he wants to kill me, then he wants to team with me. We're like an old married couple. You know, we're together, then we're fighting, and then we're together, and then we're bickering at each other, and then there's a divorce, and then we lose the kids, and then... Oh man, this is getting really real.
This was very fitting, as the next video he'd post when he came back again in July 2016 was a Minecraft SpongeBob episode about him waking up after being asleep for 5 months. Must have been out of the late night Sky Rolls.
But, Squidward, hey, buddy, how
A lot
you
of late
doing?
night Sky Wars.
So, Jack.
Even on
finally
school
back.
nights, a lot of late
Where
night
have
Sky
you
Wars.
been? It's a funny story. Something I just told over to SpongeBob, and I've actually been sleeping this whole time. Isn't that so funny, Squidward?
This actually added an interesting element to his SpongeBob series going forward, as his character would spend multiple episodes adjusting to having been gone for 5 months and finding out about all the stuff he missed. Like in one episode where he learned about Pokemon Go, which was
Oh
very
yeah, the
popular at the time.
Pokemon Go episode,
Alright,
dude.
how do I do this again? Alright, do I just throw it near him? Like that? Get him, Squirtle! Get him!
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Sky Wars is a lot of fun. I played with Brent back in the day too. It was a lot of fun. You know what's funny about this video though? The Pokemon Go. So I was really into Pokemon Go, as was everybody when I posted this. But I thought this video was gonna like, I thought it was gonna like break YouTube or some shit. I thought I was gonna get like, I thought I was gonna become PewDiePie overnight with this video. Not really, but I thought it still did well. But I thought it was gonna do like crazy numbers.
Get him, Squirtle! Oh, okay, apparently Squirtle does not want to get him. Come back, Squirtle, alright. Maybe I have to throw him closer to him. How about... There we go, alright.
Jack would also continue making Sky Rolls.
Yeah, Minecraft, SpongeBob, and Pokemon. I mean, again, it did... I'm sure it has like 1 million views or, close to it. Or maybe like 500K or something, but, it... I thought it was gonna fucking boom! it's crazy how for my roleplay videos especially, I had no idea of knowing what was gonna pop and what wasn't. Like I have episodes where, you know, the title and the thumbnail, they don't seem anything special to me, but they got way more views than the other ones. Like Trapped in the Krusty Krab, that one did numbers. I have no idea why. It still gets a lot of numbers.
And Walking Dead videos, along with some one-off Minecraft minigame videos. This was basically the closest thing you could say his channel had to a second wind. As for a little while, it seems like he was uploading pretty consistently again. So much so that he felt the need to have someone he knows make a video letting his audience know that he was only going to be able to upload one video 1 week.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is not Jack, just someone here to explain something on his behalf.
Hello, not Jack. Despite seeming like
Hey, Cartoon Post, I don't know if you I mean you've seen the videos with Young Tater, right? Like some of the Skywars videos back in the day. And I mean, I don't know if you're aware now, he's still you know, we're still friends. We still talk a lot. He's been on the stream a lot lately. So
he was here to stay. However, he did leave again the following month, before eventually coming back again for a brief amount of time, then disappearing again. This pattern continued until he uploaded his final YouTube video on July 25th, 2020, which was episode 6 of a Minecraft Cube UHC series, which he began uploading during his final YouTube comeback in 2019, which was basically Minecraft but health doesn't automatically regenerate. Now, why did Funny Swirl stop uploading videos? Well, if you take a look at his channel, up until the UHC series, you'll notice over time he eventually started just uploading roleplay videos, aka the type of content that he previously described as taking the most amount of time and efforts. Not only that, but over time his videos began getting increasingly longer and closer to the length of a TV movie. 44 minutes, 53 minutes, an hour and 4 minutes. It's likely both of these factors led to what I believe was one of the 2 main reasons Funny Swirl decided to stop uploading: getting burnt out. The other most likely reason he stopped uploading, in my opinion, was probably just him getting busy focusing on other stuff. Many people don't know this, but back in 2017, during one of his mini hiatuses on YouTube, Funny Swirl actually became neighbors with the ex-Minecraft and then vlog YouTuber Noboom, and began appearing in almost all of his videos, along with other popular YouTubers at the time, such as Preston Plays and Ants. Not to be confused with Ant Venom.
Jack,
Yo, Jack.
2.5 minutes of your time.
Yeah, can I just plant my potatoes? No, I need to make it one more.
Jack, you ready for the diss track, buddy?
Mm-hmm.
you drink
milk
with your chicken? You ready for the diss track, buddy?
I mean my B-dubs, dude. Well, I don't know why I'm eating on the floor, but yeah, that's what I got for dinner tonight. Not the same flavor, but being a fan of your vids and Noboom's, those are fire collabs. Hey, that's crazy. I didn't even know anybody really you know, remembered those times. Those are fun times though. Nathan would come over like a couple times a week just to get a few clips. Do I know what happened to Noboom? I haven't talked to him in a little bit. I talked to him, well, I texted with him like maybe last year. I know that he's married now, and I think he's doing pretty well. I don't think he's doing any kind of like content creation, but yeah, I think he's very happy. So
You drink milk with your chicken?
Hot.
It's mild.
Make sure to replace that M with a W, dude. It's wild.
And for a while, back in early to mid 2020, Funny Swirl was live streaming multiple different video games on Twitch, such as Skyrim and
yeah, good for him. He's a good dude. So you know, he's one of my you know, the YouTube friends that, you know, is like actually, you know, stood the test of time, I'd say, even though we don't talk a ton.
of Bikini Bottom rehydrated. And I know what you guys are thinking, but this was back in 2020, and he hasn't even been showing up in anyone else's videos lately either. For the past half decade, he's gone completely silent online.
Half-decade, holy.
Well, not exactly. While Funny Swirl's YouTube and Twitch haven't been active, he has been using Twitter still and posting tweets once in a while. And actually, through his Instagram, which has been less active, we might be able to get the closest idea as to what he's been doing instead of making YouTube videos. videos. On October 16, 2023, not on Halloween, he posted a picture of himself wearing a professional-looking suit and holding an FBI badge. If this is official confirmation that he joins the FBI, then that would make a ton of sense as to why he hasn't been uploading, because think of it, being an FBI agent would take up a ton of time. You cannot be a full-time YouTuber and also an FBI agent. It's also kind of funny, as one person put it on Instagram, went from SpongeBob roleplays to being in the FBI. It seems like he was one of the only Minecraft YouTubers to actually get the good ending. But that is not the ending.
I got the good ending, dude. Oh, that's hilarious. It's especially funny because I'm pretty sure I either saw that comment that you referenced, or I've seen other comments of people saying like like, oh, like he's I know why he stopped uploading. He's in the FBI now. And like I know you're kidding when you say it, but I guarantee you there are some people out there who, are maybe younger and they're like, yeah, he's actually in the FBI. That's what happened. He Minecraft role player to FBI, the pipeline. It's real. It's so funny though. Yeah, it was a Halloween costume. My girlfriend and I were doing like a couple's costume from Parks and Rec. So
completely unexpectedly, in February 2025, Funny Soul officially came back to Twitch. During his first live stream
Damn,
back,
we got some,
he gave everyone
look at
updates
these modern clips, dude. You got clips from... That's crazy. This is the only video on YouTube that has, like, my very first video, and then, my early Minecraft videos, and then now I got the current era.
And what he's been up to since he left in 2020.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Yeah, I've had a lot of comments on my YouTube over the years of people saying, stuff like that, of being like, oh, I was like 7 when I first saw it, and now I'm like 17 or whatever, and it's like, honestly, it's kind of a mindfuck, It's like, it doesn't feel real that was 10 years ago, but now I'm back, hopefully, again, for the long haul, or at least close to it. But yeah, let's see, what's oh, I said someone clip this? Yeah, that sounds like me. I tell people to clip stuff. What's been going on in the last few years? Well, obviously, COVID was happening when I was streaming. I lived at a different place. If you guys were here from before, you would know that I'm in a different spot now. Different apartment. Been here for like... Oh god, it's been like... I think it was the start of 2021, so yeah, like 4 years now. 4 years in this new place. Time flies. It really does. Just got a new computer like a month or two ago. Not necessarily for streaming, but it helps that it's a bit stronger. My old one was from like 2018 or so, just a little bit outdated. What else? Well, I have a lovely girlfriend, and she's great. Been with her for the last couple of years now, a little over that. I started a new job a few months ago. I don't think it really matters if I say where, but for now, I'll just keep that to myself. I just don't want to risk any, It's been a while since I've streamed, chat. I don't remember the risks involved with streaming. Or I do, but I'm trying to be careful about it, so.
He also seemingly confirmed that for a period of time, he actually did join the FBI, but he said it in kind of a sarcastic sounding way, so whether you want to believe he was joking or not is up to you. I don't want to say something in this video if I don't know that it is definitely true.
Is it true that you joined the FBI? Yeah, actually. I was gonna get into that later, but the reason I've been gone all these years is because I joined the FBI, and it's very hush-hush. I can't talk about much, but, I've just kind of been, going on secret missions. I can't talk about it too much, but... Holy... Yeah, official, chat. It's confirmed. Good ending. FBI. FBI plus girlfriend. And, I mentioned I have a job, and I can't say where. That's exactly why, Top secret. Oh, and look, you see, I see you on the thing. You followed on here, Cartoon Post. Look, 24 minutes ago on here. That's nice. I know the FBI thing. I wasn't sure if I wanted to include it in case it was true. Yeah, no, that's a good bit. I appreciate the disclaimer though about like I don't want to say anything that's not officially true. I mainly didn't want to seem disrespectful if I was like, "There's no way he actually joined the FBI." Hey, no, you're good, man. You're good. It was a good bit.
It's really not that interesting.
I can say, just to clear the air, set the record straight, I am in the FBI, but that's all I can really say. I don't want to get in trouble with my higher-ups for anything more.
Interesting. It's just, you know, regular Tuesday for me.
Since his comeback stream, Funny Swell has done multiple live streams on Twitch, playing a variety of different games. And we don't know how long he will continue streaming before disappearing again. But if patterns are anything
Forever.
to go on,
Forever! Forever! Don't say it like that. Forever.
off of, one thing we know is that just when it seems like he will never come back to the internet, that's when he does. But anyways, that's gonna be it for this
That you always can be sure of that.
video. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like, share, subscribe, and to let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Cartoon Post out.
Oh yeah!
All I can find is a
Bunch of stupid stones.
I've been shearing sheep.
Using the wool that I received. Piggy, I've been playing long. I can't keep finding things that I'll be finding mobs. Damn. Yeah, I like that little I like that for the outro using you know, my song there. That was very good editing. I like that. Oh look, you already have 6 likes, and now you got a 7th one. Years ago, this popular Minecraft SpongeBob YouTuber disappeared completely on YouTube. But why? That's what we'll be trying to find out in this video. Damn. Well, yeah, so it's funny though also that, I mean, if you had made this video before I came back on Twitch a couple months ago, like, yeah, you would have had, like, I mean, you would have had still a lot of content, but, like, you wouldn't have had anything, like, really, you know, recent besides, like, the Instagram stuff. So I'm glad I was able to give you some, you know, up-to-date content for the vid. No, that song was a jammer, man. That and PvP are both jammers. The, you know, people can say what they want about the music video, you know, but the songs were jammers. I stand by that. Yeah, I know. I liked it a lot, Cartoon Post. I appreciate you you making it, for one, and for you showing me. Let me drop a nice comment on here. What's something witty and good? There we go. Clarifying that I am in the FBI. I'll post a pinned comment clarifying that the FBI thing was a joke, by the way. Hey, I mean, you don't have to do that. I think I think most people probably get it. Never thought I'd get a funny short comments on a YouTube video. Hey, yeah, man. I mean, yeah, this you make a great video like that. I mean, I've got to comment on it, you know. I kind of want to hear that.
All I can find is a bunch of stupid stuff. Lately, I've been shearing sheep, using the wool that I received. Piggy,
All right, fuck it. I got to I want to hear my other song now.
Today, we're going to be reviewing the SpongeBob Season 15 episode, A Fish Called Sandy. Let's dive in right now. This is a brand new episode of SpongeBob that isn't even out yet, but it leaked online. And being someone who always follows the rules, I decided I was going to wait until the episode actually comes out before I had to watch the leak. And bro, Twitter has been going crazy over this episode, and I can absolutely see why. This episode looks and feels like an episode of classic SpongeBob. And I'm saying this as someone who isn't even one of those sponge boomers who is like, modern SpongeBob sucks, I only like classic SpongeBob. But I am someone who prefers classic SpongeBob. And a lot of what made classic SpongeBob special and awesome is in this new episode. This feels like a homage and a love letter to classic SpongeBob. The animation style in this episode is a lot less exaggerated and over the top than most modern episodes. And I do love that type of animation style for what it is. But I also love seeing an episode that's animated in a similar style to the classic episodes, because that's a style I do prefer if I had to pick one. And despite this episode being less visual gag heavy, this episode is still very funny. I especially like the window joke with Patrick. The backgrounds in this episode have more muted colors and also just look very nice. The entire episode looks very nice. And the animation, even putting the style of it aside, which is very good like I said, is 10 out of 10. But that's to be expected with modern SpongeBob. Whether you love it or hate it, one thing modern SpongeBob has been very consistent with is that the animation is one of its biggest strengths. And by the way, when I say modern SpongeBob, I don't mean seasons 5 and 6 and 7. That hasn't been modern SpongeBob in over a decade. I mean seasons 13 and up. Though honestly, the same thing could be said about the animation in seasons 10 through 12, but that's also not really modern SpongeBob. That was before the third movie, which is basically its own separate era. Anyways, this episode also kind of brought back the old character designs. Like this picture of Sandy, I swear looks like it came straight out of season 1. I don't want to talk too much about the story in this episode because I don't want to spoil it for the people who won't even be able to watch it until whenever Nickelodeon decides to air it on TV. But even though the visuals are such a strong point, the story is actually my favorite part of this episode. It's basically about Sandy using science to change who she is so that she can live a very different type of life. And she has a lot of fun living this new life. And with how entertaining the sequence that plays is, you feel almost like you are having fun at the same time as the character. And you'd be okay with it if they decided to change the status quo of the show to keep things how they are in this episode. But Sandy, in this episode, takes it too far with all the science and stuff. And she figuratively and literally loses herself, as she becomes this completely unrecognizable creature, and SpongeBob must get the old Sandy back. It's pretty compelling for a SpongeBob episode. I also love how this episode is kind of a sequel to Hooky. SpongeBob is even shown to already know what the hooks are, and how they play in this episode was very natural and perfect. It didn't just feel like nostalgic pandering. Yeah, this was a good episode. And I see so many people online are talking about how much it pays homage to classic SpongeBob, and saying that they hope they make more episodes like it, and I hope they do too. This is easily my favorite modern SpongeBob episode, but I hope the quality of it also gets some Sponge Boomers to actually check out some of the other episodes of modern SpongeBob, because while I've been very critical of it lately, and feel like seasons 13 and 14 were a very mixed bag in terms of quality, I don't know if the production crew just got the flu for a couple seasons and are feeling better now or something, but I swear, season 15 has been so good so far. Best season since season 11, in my opinion at least. I feel like SpongeBob is back on track again, after kinda going through a bit of a mid-era for a few years. And I actually might make a full-on video about it sometime. Anyways though, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Today we're going to be reviewing the brand new SpongeBob Season 16 episode, SpongeBob and Patrick's Timeline Twist Up. Without any further delay, let's dive in right now. So this is a 43-minute SpongeBob special that just aired on TV. In it, when SpongeBob and Patrick find out that Patrick's old time closet at his parents' house went crazy and sucked his family into the past, resulting in Patrick's family taking SpongeBob's place in iconic moments from classic SpongeBob episodes, SpongeBob and Patrick have to travel back in time to get them out of the past and get everything back to how it was. The first thing I'll say about it is it doesn't actually feel like a 43-minute special. I watched it it twice for this video, and both times it flew by and felt more like a 20-minute special. It never drags on, which is a very good thing, and it's the complete opposite of some other SpongeBob specials we've gotten in the past. Truth or square. Speaking of the past, one of the most common complaints people have of modern SpongeBob is how it often feels like the show is leaning too heavily on referencing older episodes for the sake of nostalgic pandering. But I didn't feel like that was an issue with this episode, because if there's ever a time to lean in on the past, it's literally a special about time travel. And instead of just being a bottle episode or a clip show, this episode kind of feels like a SpongeBob version of Marvel's What If. Like, what if it was Patrick's dad who whipped his pants? What if it was Patrick's grandpa who got a job at the Krusty Krab and help wanted? What I'm about to say might make the two fans of that show mad, but the main difference is that unlike Marvel's What If, this episode actually does something very creative and entertaining with its ideas. My favorite of the time travel segments being the one with Patrick's grandpa, which ended up going completely wild with his grandpa stealing the Krabby Patty secret formula and taking over Bikini Bottom like a full-on supervillain. And I also loved how it ended with modern SpongeBob going back in time to give classic SpongeBob the hydrodynamic spatula that he used in order to get his job at the Krusty Krab. And there was a moment of him just encouraging his past self, which is a very SpongeBob thing to do. And it was also kind of cute how they showed modern SpongeBob to actually stick around for a second in the background, watching classic SpongeBob making a ton of Krabby Patties like modern SpongeBob was a proud father to his younger self. I also love how they try to recapture at least a tiny bit of the visual style of classic SpongeBob in the time travel scenes by bringing back the old character models and also having everything be less saturated than what we have come to expect of modern SpongeBob. I do have a bit of a complaint though. Despite all of the positive stuff I just said, there's an undeniable element in this episode that, in my opinion, makes it feel like slop. And that's the quality of the writing. Or lack thereof. The writing in this episode isn't insultingly bad or anything like that. SpongeBob and Patrick aren't acting out of character like in some of the worst episodes. And if you turn your brain off and enjoy it for what it is, you will have a good time. But what it is, while being a special with a lot of creative ideas, is also a special that has very sloppy writing in multiple ways. For one, a lot of the dialogue feels very off. And heck, as someone who's been doing a lot of creative writing in my free time since I was a kid, I know a lot of these lines are at the same level of quality as some of the stuff I was coming up with when I was in 5th grade. The biggest example from this episode that I can think of is the scene where Squidina is walking around in Rock Bottom and she says, "This place is so creepy and so cinematic." And it's like, what does that even mean? Not only is it confusing to use cinematic as an adjective in the way that they did here, but it doesn't even sound like something someone would say. It sounds awkward. Like, imagine walking into, I don't know, a Taco Bell, taking a deep breath, and a good look around you, and being like, man, this place is so cinematic. A better way of having a character say something like this would be, this place looks straight out of a movie. Because when I think of the word cinematic, I think of something happening. Like an action scene, not just a dark, spooky city existing. That's more atmospheric. Also, I kind of feel like the title, SpongeBob and Patrick's Timeline Twist-Up, is a bit of a lie. Most of the episodes doesn't even actually follow SpongeBob and Patrick. Instead, it follows Patrick's family members, as instead of getting actually involved with all of the time travel stuff in an interesting way, SpongeBob and Patrick, for no reason at all, just decide to sit around watching what's going on in each scene on a television, like us, the viewers, until they eventually need to show up to save each family member at the last minutes. And then they go back to watching TV. And it comes across as an honestly pretty lazy way to clumsily tie the scenes together. It kind of feels like this special was originally intended to be like that vacation miniseries in SpongeBob Season 8 of episodes that have a similar theme, because as one story, it has very odd pacing. But I would still give this episode a good, because it is a very fun special that celebrates classic SpongeBob. And with a comedy show like SpongeBob, one of the most important things is that it is fun and entertaining to watch. So it may be slop, but it's fun slop, so that makes it technically good. And also, when I was watching it, I felt like I was watching an anniversary special. Like, this feels kind of like the logical spiritual successor to Big Birthday Blowout, the 20th anniversary special. So I don't know what they're gonna do for the 30th anniversary. I guess we will see. Also, I just want to briefly mention something I saw many people talking about on Twitter, and so that is Tom Kenny's voice. Many people said that throughout the episode, Tom Kenny sounded tired and like he should just give up voicing the character. And I wouldn't go that far. As long as voicing the character is what he actually wants to do, I say he should continue doing it for as long as he can. But I do completely agree that he does not sound like he did even 5 years ago in season 12, which was around the time I stopped actively keeping up with SpongeBob. I'm saying this as a big fan of Tom Kenny. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything, but throughout the episode, it sounded like Tom Kenny wasn't able to emote as expressively with his voice as you would usually expect him to when voicing SpongeBob. And there were some moments where he even sounded like he was kind of struggling to do the voice. Now, some people think this might be a voice directing thing, where maybe he and the other voice actors weren't being directed well enough, which can have an effect on voice performances, but I don't think that's the case. Plenty of the other voices, in my opinion, sounded like how they usually do, especially the voices of Patrick and his family members. I think it's because Tom Kenny has been voicing SpongeBob for over 25 years, and the dude is 62 years old. I think he's just aging, and it is kinda sad it's becoming so noticeable, but it is what it is. Today we're gonna be reviewing the SpongeBob Season 2 episode Jellyfish Hunter. Without any further delay, let's dive in right now. We see SpongeBob in jellyfish fields when he comes across a blue jellyfish, which he calls No Name, because he's never caught that one before. I actually used to know someone named No Name. It's a long story. Anyways, SpongeBob ends up going to work, and on his lunch break, he puts jellyfish jelly on a Krabby Patty, which other people see him eating. And after trying it, a bunch of customers apparently love it. So Mr. Krabs ends up making this entire jellyfish milking factory, which SpongeBob and No Name put a stop to. Now, in a lot of bad episodes, one of the main reasons why those episodes kinda suck is because of how many of them flanderize Mr. Krabs into being a very scummy and unlikable character. And indeed, he is very unlikable in this episode. But the difference is, this episode actually treats him like an antagonist. In fact, he basically is the antagonist. And unlike other episodes like One Course Meal, Mr. Krabs actually does get an ending where he doesn't win. Cause when you do something, like, I don't know, kidnap a bunch of jellyfish and put them in a factory, you don't always deserve a happy ending. Even if you are not necessarily a villain character like Plankton. Why am I saying you? But yeah, this is a good episode. But you know what this episode has me wondering? What the heck would jelly on a fast food burger even taste like? I imagine it would be gross, but who knows? Maybe it would actually be pretty good. Oh well, I'm not gonna drive all the way to a fast food place and spend actual money on a burger just to put jelly on it. That would be kinda stupid.
Welcome to Burger King. My name is Chris. How can I help you today?
Hey, I'd like one Whopper with cheese, please.
A Whopper with cheese?
Yep, that'll be it.
You don't want to make that into a meal today with fries and a drink?
No, just one Whopper with cheese, please.
No problem. That's going to be $8.76 down at the second window.
Alright, thank you. Let me...
Hello.
Oh, I thought it was second window. Oh, okay. Oop.
Sorry about that.
It's alright.
876.
Alright. I am terrified to try this. I bet it's not going to be very good, but my curiosity got the best of me. Got squeezable jelly. I'll put that on. Well, yeah, you know, so I can taste the jelly. That should probably be good. Well, probably not good, but you know what I mean. Please, Yahweh, forgive me, for I am about to assault my taste buds. Hallelujah. Okay. That's revolting. I have not tasted the most combination before in my life. I mean, like, if it was a plain logo, it would probably be fine, but with the mayonnaise and the ketchup and everything. Well, what am I doing to myself? What am I doing with my life? Well, well, I can't eat this. It's gross. Well, that was somehow even worse than I expected it to be. Well, at least the episode is good. Anyways, today we're gonna be reviewing the SpongeBob Season 4 episode, Best Frenemies. Without any further delay, let's dive in right now. Until now, I have yet to make a video about a post-movie SpongeBob episode since I began my Season 1 projects. Out now, by the way. And what better episode to do that with than this one? Post-movie SpongeBob episodes can be very hit or miss. Some are so good that they feel like they could actually be a classic episode. Some are so bad that they essentially commit character assassination. And some post-movie episodes are just very dull and uninteresting. Which is not something that can be said about this one. In this episode, when a bunch of new restaurants begin popping up in Bikini Bottom and getting everyone in town addicted to kelp shakes, Mr. Krabs and Plankton team up to steal one and find out what they're made out of. This episode has very good pacing, and it was very fun to watch these two characters who are usually fighting each other teaming up, and I loved all of the gags that this episode got out of this concept, and all of the schemes we see the two of them try, as they also then blame each other when said schemes don't go well, showing they do still hate each other. But at the same time, we see at the end of the episode when they gleefully go back to fighting, they actually like hating each other. It's like how the Lego Batman movie explores the idea that although they of course want each other to fail, in a funny way, Batman and Joker need each other. And as someone who is at times a pretty competitive person and often feels the need to prove myself against all the other people on YouTube and haters and critics, etc. On some level, I actually find that kind of relatable. You know, needing to have people to be the yin to your yang. Like, I genuinely appreciate every positive comment I get on my videos, but sometimes there's actually nothing that motivates you as much as getting a couple hate comments. Oh, did I mention this episode is also pretty funny? I kind of forgot I was talking about SpongeBob. I also love how ominous it is that we don't ever actually see who is the one behind all of the kelp shakes. They just show up and everyone gets poisoned by them. I honestly don't think it was a scheme. My theory is that it was just a bunch of pollution being dumped into the ocean by humans. Because when all of the kelp shake restaurants begin showing up, we see that they are coming from somewhere up above. And all of the kelp shake buildings are literally in the shape of a bottle. Yeah, this is a good episode. A fantastic one, even. You know what probably wouldn't be fantastic, though? Trying an actual kelp shake. Like, I just don't imagine a type of shake that's made with kelp being very good tasting. The episode doesn't seem to think so either. But who knows, maybe it wouldn't be gross. Maybe it would actually taste kinda good. I wonder. I'm such a dumbass.
Just the vanilla shake?
Yeah. Thank you. Have a good day. Oh, yeah, the change. Yep. Let's take a sip before I ruin this. Alright, it might have been a little bit more than one sip. I just couldn't help myself. Anyways, today I'm going to be finding out what the kelp shakes in that one SpongeBob episode might have tasted like. And to do that, I've got a vanilla milkshake from
Burger King, where you get the burger you want the way you want it.
And something that a lot of you guys probably didn't even know that they make, and I personally have never tried before, kelp seasoning. I'm going to be putting the kelp seasoning inside the milkshake to make it technically a kelp shake. How do you even open it? Oh. This does not smell good at all. I mean, let me taste it. It's not awful. It's kind of salty. I know this is made for food and this is a milkshake, and so putting it together will probably not be good at all, but for the video I have to. Alright, I'm just gonna sprinkle a tiny bit in. Maybe a little bit more than that. Just so it's all nice and kelpy. Mix that up. And originally, when I came up with the idea for this video, I was only going to be putting the kelp seasoning inside the shake. But then I told the idea to my best friend, and my best friend said, you should put some green food dye in it as well, to make it look even more like, you know, the kelp shakes in that SpongeBob episode. And I've never put food dye in anything before, but apparently, what you're supposed to do is only put a tiny bit. Not a lot. So, that might have been a little bit more than a tiny bit. Mix it up, get it all nice and green, and I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like from my perspective. Look at that, a real life kelp shake. Taste buds, please forgive me. You guys are gonna say I'm crazy. It's actually not that bad. I'm not gonna drink it like the entire thing because I think I might have put too much of, not the seasoning, the food dye, and I know food dye isn't good for you, and I don't wanna just drink like a ton of food dye, but I can't even really taste the kelp in it. I know what that means. Let me put a tiny bit more of the kelp in it. Okay. Just like a tiny bit more, like so. Mix it up a tiny bit more and see how it is now. So, honestly, it doesn't really taste like much of anything. Like, okay, I did taste a tiny bit of the kelp in it, so it has a bit of a saltiness, but it's mostly overpowered by the vanilla milkshake still, despite all the amount of, like, kelp seasoning that I put in it. So, this is honestly, surprisingly, a lot less gross than trying jelly on a burger like I did a little while ago. This honestly wasn't gross. I mean, I'm sure it's very bad for you with like all the food dye, and I am not gonna be drinking the rest of that because I don't want to just like drink a ton of food dye because that's really not good for you. But taste wise, that was not gross at all. I could taste a tiny bit of like the saltiness of the seasoning. It did make it have a tiny bit of like a salty taste, which is a little bit odd for a milkshake, I must say. But it wasn't overpowering and it wasn't super full of the kelp flavor. Despite like putting in the kelp seasoning like twice, I do actually have, now that I'm thinking about it, a bit of a kelp aftertaste, I think. But it's really also not that bad, it's just a tiny bit salty. Yeah, I was expecting to hate that, but I guess the kelp shake, not as bad as I thought it would be. I hope I don't start transforming into like a green-colored creature though, like the characters in that episode. SpongeBob SquarePants is officially coming to Minecraft. Let's dive in right now. Minecraft and SpongeBob are both really popular phenomenons and have been a part of a lot of people's childhoods, including my own. I remember trying to build Bikini Bottom in Minecraft when I was a little kid, and a ton of other people have tried to do the same thing. It's not going to be a texture pack, but SpongeBob is officially being added to Minecraft. It's going to be a DLC, and in it, you can explore the world of SpongeBob, interact with characters from the series, and do fun things in what will be an official Minecraft adventure. And just look at this shot of SpongeBob's pineapple house. It looks really good, and I shouldn't be surprised because I remember the Adventure Time texture pack that was introduced to Minecraft quite a while ago being pretty cool, but this SpongeBob DLC is blowing away my expectations. When I first heard about the SpongeBob DLC, I thought it was fake, but then I found out it was real, and I was expecting it to be one of those things that are just okay and extremely overrated, but everything I've seen so far for it looks incredible. Just recently, during an event called Minecraft Now, footage of the SpongeBob DLC was shown off, and here's what we got. We get to see the inside of SpongeBob's pineapple house, and there's so many details that make me happy. First off, look at these textures. The sand, the walls, SpongeBob's bed, everything. Really looks a lot like the show. show. I swear, they could have just released this as a texture pack and I would have been happy. We see Gary, who's next to his pet bowl, and it looks like we can feed stuff to him. And notice the addition of those newspapers on the ground. Those are actually what Gary sleeps on in the show. And of course, you gotta have SpongeBob's big alarm clock that wakes him up in the morning. We can see that it actually functions in the game. That's awesome. We slide down into, in my opinion, one of the most important areas in the Pineapple House, which is SpongeBob's huge library. This, of course, has been shown in many iconic SpongeBob episodes, such as Boarding School and Something Smells. It doesn't look as big as I would have expected it to be, but it still looks pretty neat. Then, we go into SpongeBob's living room. What is this? Am I watching an episode of the show? Everything from SpongeBob's TV to the decoration on the wall, which is a fish, which is kind of weird the more I think about it. When we go outside, we can see how much they prioritized accuracy when making the DLC. Flowers in the sky, boats from the series, which you can actually drive. We meet Squidward, whose character model looks perfect, and he tells us about how much he hates SpongeBob and asks the player to play an instrument with him. We go inside his Easter Island head house, and we see the living room. Looks just like you remember it. In his bedroom, you've got his big fancy bed, some flowers, and a chest where you can grab an instrument. Then, in Jellyfish Fields, Squidward starts playing music for a crowd. There's a lot of recognizable characters in the crowd. Poach Perkins, Kevin, Smitty, Robin, Jagerman, Jensen, Squilliam, Mr. Krabs' mom, SpongeBob's parents, his grandma, Fred, the chocolate guy, Larry the lobster, Mr. Krabs' daughter, Bubble Buddy, Old Man Jenkins, Patrick, and Sandy. Squidward plays a clarinet and SpongeBob plays a guitar, and I'm pretty sure that's a reference to Hello Bikini Bottom. Then, there's a time card, and a bubble transition. We drive around Bikini Bottom, see the outside of the Bargain Mouth, Mrs. Puff's boarding school, and jellyfish in the sky. Speaking of jellyfish, in Jellyfish Fields, you go around holding a jellyfishing net, going jellyfishing with SpongeBob. It's nice that there's gonna be so many new features and activities in the DLC. We then get a look at Shady Shoals, and we don't see the Momo, but we do see Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy inside. The final locations we got footage of were the outside and inside of the Krusty Krab and the Chum Bucket in the distance. We talk to Mr. Krabs, and we must defend the Krusty Krab against a mob of nematodes by throwing Krabby Patties at them, which I know is a reference to Help Wanted. And there's also Bubble Bass over there. As someone who's spent a lot of time trying to build my own SpongeBob world in Minecraft, seeing this DLC, I'm very impressed. Are you guys going to be playing this DLC when it comes out? And are you excited? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, share, and subscribe.